Yo, what's up, my gamers in Christ? How are we doing today after that short little break? I hope we're doing well. It's only been an hour, so not too many bad things could have happened. Hopefully. That's my hope anyways. Sorry, I had to get up, get around, stretch out the old limbs and all that. Take my dog for a walk. Unfortunately, it looks like we might be getting a big storm. It's a different color than like tornado outside, but it's orange. It's usually green if there's a tornado, but it's orange outside. So I don't know if that's a new catastrophe we unlocked here in Kansas, but I'm excited to see what weather events that creates. What's up, SBC? Good to see you, brother / sister / anything you want to be, dude. It's a gamer economy. Anyways, we're gonna be looking into I have quite a bit on the docket here. First, we're gonna start off with PBS NewsHour to just kind of get a feel, and then next we'll be watching Democratic senators saying they will not back down as the Trump admin tries to indict them. Actually, hold on. Not that. That was for a separate thing I'm doing. Anyways, we'll have a piece by Brian Tyler Cohen talking to Ro Khanna, which is always fun. And then Hillary Clinton accusing the Trump admin of Epstein Files cover-up. And that's coming from the BBC. They've got an interview there. And then after that, we're going to get into our Rightoid sauce. And for that, I have JRE, Joe Rogan, the Joe Rogan Experience, reacting to something about the Jeffrey Epstein files. And then Asmon just posted something called Oh No. So I guess that's interesting. And then we have a face we haven't seen in a while. We have Nick Fritas talking about voter suppression. So that's going to be fun. So you better get excited for that. I was contemplating setting it back for one more hour because I've been really enjoying this new game I bought. Cause War Sim was very fun and but it didn't quite fill my 4X grand strategy niche that I was feeling. So I bought a game called Conquest of Elysium. It's pretty fun, I can't lie. It's got a whole bunch of units, a whole bunch of wacky, crazy stuff you can do. I mean, it's pretty fun. But, it's not Morrowind, and if we gotta beat Morrowind. I'm not gonna switch games willy-nilly like that. When we commit to something, we do it. Now, it is true that I haven't even returned the puzzle cube to the Fighters Guild, but that's okay, we're getting there. It's not about the end destination, folks, it's about the journey. Alright, but one thing I do need to really get better at is just running in circles. I do that when I talk, and I need to get better at doing the adjective at hand. Objective, not adjective. What the hell? That's what I'm wondering. The game's wondering too. Why did I use that word? Anyways, we'll get the show started here soon. I just gotta return this to do this little favor for the home dog. Oh, dude, I want to take that key. What are you talking about? I want to do that. So what he's offering me right now is he basically told me everything he knows about the sixth house and the Neverine. That's me. I'm the Neverine, by the way. And it's talking about unlocking some things. Let's learn about that sixth house, baby. Anyways, I do need to grow more on my Elder Scrolls knowledge, because the other day I did get absolutely checked in the chat about my Elder Scrolls knowledge. I was calling Molag Bal the god of R-word, but he is not. He is not. He is actually the god of shit. No, that's Malakath. God damn it, not Molag Bal. Molag Bal is the god of R-word. They have so many names. Mehrunes Dagon. Why so many M names? Molag Bal. Malakath. Meridia. Why so many M's in the Daedric Pantheon? It's ridiculous. Okay, we're doing the running in circles thing. But it's absolutely ridiculous, folks. Anyways, I did get checked, but if I ever get my Elder Scrolls knowledge tested again, I think I'm ready. I think I'll be okay. It depends, right? It depends. Because, like, in Morrowind, they get pretty fucking crazy and wacky with the lore. To where in Skyrim, it's a lot more muted, I'd say. Do you think they'll ever make an Elder Scrolls 6? That's the real question. I mean, it's built up so much hype. How do you make up for that? Like, how do you deliver on that? I just don't think you can. It's too much hype. Like, what they're gonna have to do is they're gonna have to release all of Tamriel, and each, like, area is like a DLC. But as, like, an actual interactive game, like an actual game, not just like an MMO or something. I don't know if they can do that. That's a lot. Alright, we gotta go to the Mages Guild now, guys. We're progressing now. See? We are progressing. Anyways, we'll get the real show started here soon. I'm kind of waiting for my first Trump dump, you know? When the Trump dump comes. You will know. They really do just dump all the, whatever they can find on the streets. They just dump it. Big massive dumps. That's a quote by Donald. Alright, let me check this window capture. Good to go. We'll wait like 3 more minutes and get it started. Oh, I need to announce. Gosh, I keep forgetting to announce when I'm live. That's something we can't be doing here, gang. We cannot be doing that. That is actually illegal. interestingly enough. Trump admin did it, not me. Excuse me? Oh, Canada. Great. Canada musical signature. Canada has a musical signature? What does that mean? What does it mean, folks? Oh, wow. I have a whole bunch of messages I'm missing out on right now. One moment. Oops. Oh, we're just talking about Lonerbox. Okay, Lonerbox is a cool... Lonerbox is a Chad. Never. I'm sorry, guys. I just, I forget that I'm in group chats. You know what I mean? I'm the original, not the original loner, but I'm the loner, the truest form of Lonerbox. You know what I'm saying? I live in a box and I truly am a loner. I always forget to, respond to things and stuff like that. Alright, we are going to at everyone. I'm live. I do need to get a thumbnail for Rage and Resist. Hope you guys enjoyed that, by the way. I am really enjoying the podcast. Glad to have it with some lib Stacy's, absolute Stacy's out there. But that does remind me. Good to have this. You know, this is good music. If you want to help people in Ukraine not be cold. I know, great way to introduce this. But if you want to help people in Ukraine who are currently fighting brutal temperatures, made even worse by Russia's involvement in targeting their energy infrastructure, you guys can go donate to the pinned comment. And you're asking, where's the pinned comment? Well, guess what, bubs? Guess what? It's right there. That's where it is. So go to the pinned comment and go show your support. They're a very musical people. The Dwemer? I agree. The Dwemer are a very musical people. By the way, if you guys are enjoying the stream, make sure to like and subscribe. Really helps out the channel. We should probably get started here in a minute, but I need to get updated on this text chat I'm having. I guess I could do that while I'm reacting to something, but I like to make people suffer just a little bit. Who am I missing? All right, that should be good. Should I get a Twitter, guys? God, I really don't want to get a Twitter, but all right. Yeah, we should probably get started. But this is such, like, listen to this music. Aren't you guys just enjoying the vibes? Ah, it's just such, you know, it's such happy energy. I hate to ruin it for you guys because I won't lie, the first half it will be just news, but we've got a lot of shit to wade through today. Twitter is useful, just don't get addicted to it. Yeah, I see people scrolling on Twitter a lot. I don't know. I don't like the idea of fucking Elon Musk being my corporate owner. I like the Alphabet company owning my information more personally. We're coming to the age where we have to make that decision, and I feel like Google's a lot more trustworthy, although they're even bending the knee to the admin, so. Too many people just lose their filter on that site. Yeah, that's something else. Like, I know there's just absolutely horrible takes on there that I don't know how I would engage with. But there are some moments where I'm like, oh, this could be a good tweet. And I decide to just send it in Discord or something. I don't know. I'm personally kind of afraid of what I would become on Twitter as, like, just a meme on people. Look what it turned Drew Pavlo into. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's an amazing song to end with. It gives that right amount of anticipation that I said it was the perfect amount. What are you doing? All right, it gives that perfect amount just right there. Anyways, let's get into some news, why don't we? A little bit of news is good for the soul, I've heard. Anyways, let's get started on oh, this is for the future. Yeah, we're going to be talking about Nick again. It's been a while. It's been a while since we've seen Nick. He's actually getting more views than he usually does, but it's been a while since he lost his position. Hey, sorry I'm late. What is the subject today? Really just really a general news sweeping kind of. Just kind of covering all the main things. What I think is really important we covered in the podcast today, so. By the way, I hope you guys are enjoying the podcast because I think I see us going pretty far, not gonna lie. I think we've got a really good group, and I just enjoy it, okay? Anyways, let's start with PBS NewsHour. Oh, but I'll start advertising it more once we get past 400 subs. But I have a lot of things in store for after we hit 500 subs. We'll be having each day is going to be dedicated to something rather than just kind of what I do right now, which is just kind of more general covering stuff. There's going to be a debate review day. There's going to be a research day, debate day. Like we've got so much in store once we hit 500 subs. So, feel free to let everyone know about that. And, if you are on one of your family members' phones, type in "that guy doesn't exist." Subscribe to that. Subscribe to me there. That way, you're spreading the message and they don't even need to know. You can turn notifications off so they don't even know. They don't even know that they're subscribed to me. Or turn them on. Are we going to be able to hear it? You should be able to hear the stream. You should be able to hear PBS NewsHour. But we've got a lot of exciting stuff coming down the pipeline after we hit 500 subs. I'm designing completely new interfaces. It's going to be sick. Ways for the chat to interact, so it's not just it's not just the chat. Incentives, changing the color of things as an incentive. I think that's, a fun little thing to do. What I was trying to say is, are we going to be able to hear the debate? Yeah. So, I'm slowly but surely gathering more and more MAGA in the Discord. So soon I should be pretty well fed with MAGA memers to pull up and debate. I do want to debate some big boys at some point, though.
Good evening, I'm Amna Nawaz. Jeff
Oh, I did want to also, sorry, I know it's not, and we're missing Jeff Bennett, so that's just absolutely heartbreaking as well. But I did want to bring up a debate Pisco had. It's not where they talk about tech feudalism. This shit is insane. Oh, but there was this one too. God damn it. I do not accept that Epstein trafficked minors. Oh my goodness, I totally forgot about that. Well, maybe we may debut the debate review. Damn, he's got a bunch of good debates right now. We'll debut the debate review format, not with the design or anything, just kind of what I would do later on in the show.
Bennett is away. On the NewsHour tonight, Secretary of State Marco Rubio gives Hungary's far-right president a re-election boost just days after trying to smooth over relations with other European allies. The Justice Department gives its reasoning for how it redacted the Epstein files. And the partial government shutdown over Homeland Security funding drags on with no end in sight. We speak to Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries.
We have an opportunity to make bold, transformational, and meaningful
Let's go. We get to hear from Hakeem. That's exciting.
Changes
folks.
in the law that will actually immediately impact how
By the way,
ICE
if you guys are
agents
enjoying the
committed.
stream, please remember to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel and gets me boosted out there in the
to
algorithm.
conduct themselves.
I'm not sure if the reactions do anything for it.
Major funding for the PBS NewsHour has been provided by
On an American Cruise Line's journey along the Columbia and Snake Rivers, travelers can retrace the legendary route forged by Lewis and Clark more than 200 years ago. American Cruise Line's
Isn't that
fleet of
exciting?
modern riverboats
Isn't that exciting? You guys can see where the Confederates got their asses handed to them.
sail through regional landscapes and visit
Stomped.
historic landmarks where you can experience local culture, customs, and cuisine.
I mean, it wasn't even fair.
American Cruise
Wasn't
Lines,
even fair.
proud
We
sponsor of
stomped them
PBS
so
NewsHour.
hard.
the ongoing support of these individuals and institutions, and friends of the NewsHour, including Leonard and Norma Chlorfine, and the Judy and Peter Bloom Kovler Foundation. and with the ongoing support of these individuals and institutions.
Let's go! Absolute Chads and Stacys. Chads and Stacys.
This program was made possible.
By the way, if you guys are feeling generous, please consider donating to the link that is pinned in the comments. It is going, all your donations go to care packages for Ukrainian civilians and people inside of war-torn Ukraine. Sorry, I have to get my channel link. Sorry guys, there's a bunch of stuff happening in the background right now. I deeply apologize. It's kind of quiet right now. I hate when it's just quiet. This is what we call, you know what this is right now? Dead air. It is dead air. All right, anyways, we're done. We're done. We gotta
By the
focus.
contributions
We're
to your
here for
PBS station
we're here for
from
viewers like you. Exactly. That's who we're here for. Viewers like you. And I thank you guys every second of every day that you watch me. I really do. It means the world to me.
like you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Welcome to the News Hour. America's top diplomat traveled to Hungary today and endorsed that country's far-right prime minister who's seeking his 5th straight term in office this April. Viktor Orban has...
Oh, we were talking about term limits. Jesus, talk about term limits. Hungary. Fifth presidential term? Did I hear that right?
crack down on the media, civil society, and weaken judicial independence in Hungary.
Oh, you know what's crazy? Right as I put the Zin in, which is basically like dip in a way, right as I put it in, we got honky tonk C. Franco. Trump is a brilliant person, a president, and he is doing a great job keeping his promises. What are you talking about? He hasn't ended the Ukraine war. He hasn't brought down your grocery prices. He is constantly dividing the country. What are you talking about? He hasn't kept any of his promises. He's a scam artist, and you're getting scammed, bud. And I think that's sad. I fight for people like you not to get scammed.
News
I
conference
fight
in
every
Budapest,
day.
Secretary of State
So what if I'm on Snap and Wick? So what? Who cares? Yeah, I may be on Snap, Wick, and Medicaid, but I'm providing a valuable service to the American people.
Marco Rubio said the extraordinarily close relationship between President Trump and Orban had tangible benefits.
President Trump is deeply committed to your success because your success is our success.
Orban has close ties to Russian President Vladimir Putin. And while Europe has ended or significantly reduced its reliance on Russian oil, Hungary refuses to cut back on the oil it buys from Russia. President Trump has exempted Hungary from U.S. sanctions for those purchases. Rubio's meeting with Orban came after the Secretary of State addressed world leaders at the Munich Security Conference this weekend. Coming on the heels of Trump's threats to Greenland, Rubio tried to convey a reassuring message.
We care deeply about your future and ours. And if at times we disagree, our disagreements come from our profound sense of concern about a Europe with which we are connected, not just economically, not just militarily, We are connected spiritually, and we are connected culturally. The fundamental question we must answer at the outset is, what exactly are we defending? Because armies do not fight for abstractions. Armies fight for a people. Armies fight for a nation.
Wait, what does that mean? How do you not know what you're fighting for? You're fighting for the Western values of liberty, freedom, and justice for all. What are you talking about? Don't know what don't know what we're fighting for. Ugh. Rubio, the biggest disappointment. That's actually what his wife calls him in bed. Hey, got him. Thank you. Dap up on that one. I'm the best. I know. I'm the coolest. Why don't I have my weapons equipped?
Armies fight for a way of life. And that is what we are defending. A great civilization. Acting together in this way, we will not just help recover a sane foreign policy. It will restore to us a clear sense of ourselves. It will restore a place in the world. And in so doing, it will rebuke and deter the forces of civilizational erasure.
Civilizational erasure.
Speech, Nick.
What the fuck is civilizational erasure? Is that happening? A civilizational erasure. That is what our lead diplomat just complained about. Wow. Wowee, guys. Really doing a good job there, Marco.
Nick Schifrin, who was in Munich, spoke to two senior European officials to get their reactions, beginning with the Minister of Defense for Belgium, Theo Franken.
Defense Minister, thank you very much. Welcome to the NewsHour. You've described this year already as a storm. You've referenced Venezuela. You've referenced, of course, the crisis over Greenland. Secretary Rubio came here to Munich, gave a speech that was described by the chairman of the conference as reassurance to European allies. Where do you think transatlantic relations are right now?
I wrote a book about the history of NATO, and we have a marriage of 76 years old, and we're in a crisis. Since 1 year, we're in a marriage crisis. And then you can, I'm married for 20 years, and sometimes you have a fight, and we had some fights the last couple of months, certainly on Greenland, we had a big fight. And I think that you can choose two ways, or you do a divorce, or you try to fix your marriage. And I think that in the main interest of the United States, of American people, and in European states and European people, is to stay together, to stick together, because the threats, the storm is coming, is already there, and the threats are increasing.
Some European officials I talked to say that Greenland was basically a turning point, or almost a turning point, but that the lesson learned was that Europe united to push back on the United States, and that's why President
That is
Trump...
one thing that, you know, the rejection of Trump is the only good thing to ever come out of a Trump presidency. The rejection of these authoritarian ideals and the embracing of democracy and liberty, that is going to be the only good that ever comes out of a Trump presidency. Don't forget it, okay? And I got a question. No, I'm not going to ask the dumb question of the day.
Basically took an off-ramp on Greenland. Is that how you see it?
I'm really an Atlantis thinker. I'm somebody who really loves America, American civilization, American people, and I always defend you in my parliament, in my public opinion. But Greenland was the total red line. You cannot offend somebody by taking or by threatening the territorial integrity of a country. That is just a red line. You cannot do it. I mean, it's an ally, such a good and decent ally like Denmark. You just can't do it.
It's not just that. It erodes faith in the American. It erodes faith in America, and I'm sick of people being able to point to this and say, well, look, Russia, you know, America is acting just like Russia. I'm sick of it. We need to live up to the example that we set. And if we're not able to, And I don't know what for the world, honestly. I don't know what. Are we just going to let China take over? Oh, great. China. They have a great track record, guys. China. They are totally going to have everybody's best interest at heart when they build roads that lead to only one mine and not into any cities. Surely.
So yeah, the pushback was really well coordinated, and I hope, I don't know, but I see that the reaction now is like appeasing and saying, okay.
From the U.S., you're saying?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So does that mean that the lesson that Europe has taken is actually that pushback works?
Pushback worked in this specific situation with Greenland, and I think the message has really been clear, and the reaction is also clear. So Mr. Rubio now really opening up and saying, okay, we have our problems, but we have our problems also in the United States. You have your problems in Europe, but let's try to fix them together. And I think that for me it is really a relief, and I think also for a lot of Europeans and a lot of American people that saying, okay. Whew.
And later, I spoke to Kaja Kallas, Europe's top diplomat, about Secretary of State Marco Rubio's speech here in Munich and the overall relationship between the U.S. and Europe. Kaja Kallas, thanks very much. Welcome back to the NewsHour. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, in his address to the Munich Security Conference, said this of the United States and Europe, quote, "Our destiny will always be intertwined with yours."
Mexico to pay for a wall separating Canada and the U.S. Well, I don't even think Trump can convince his own asshole not to shit. So I don't think you're going to have much luck on that one, brother.
And we want to do it together with you.
By the way, if you guys are enjoying the stream, please remember to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. If you guys disagree and want to let me know how wrong I am, feel free to call in. I'm opening up the call-in line now. Sorry, for some reason it doesn't load when I boot up my system. But that's okay, because we've got it now, folks. Feel free to call in and prove me wrong for being an absolute stinker. Feel free. Unfortunately, MAGA is a very sensitive bunch, so they may not take me up on that. But it's always there. It's always there.
And our cherished friends. But his agenda that he laid out, including stopping immigration that has caused what he called European civilizational erasure, and eliminating, quote, the global welfare state and the climate cult. The chairman of the Munich Security Conference said he was reassured. Are you?
The tone was different, that's for sure.
From Vice President Vance last year.
Yes, and also, I mean, there were some positive messages, exactly. I mean, we want to do this together with you. We have always been together, and we will be also together in the future. So that is the message that we heard. We don't always see eye to eye on issues, and we still think that, if you're worried about migration, you should be also worried about the climate change, because, people will have to leave their homes because they can't live there. So, these are the debates that we definitely don't always agree. But I think in the bigger picture, the security issues, the message to us that we want to work with you, I think it's important.
It does seem, though, that some European concerns that already existed of the Trump administration certainly crescendoed after the Greenland crisis. And I noticed that French President Emmanuel Macron used a phrase at the Munich Security Conference. He said, quote, "We will de-risk vis-a-vis all the big powers in order to be much more independent." He did not say de-risk from China, right? That's the phrase he used, clearly implying the United States. Is Europe de-risking from the United States, and what does that look like?
I mean, we are strengthening our defense. We are really trying to get over our dependencies, because dependencies make us vulnerable and weak. We are diversifying our trade relationships. We are also diversifying our defense and security partnerships, so that we are not putting all the eggs in the same basket, because every
the American basket.
whatever basket, meaning that we have been, dependent on Russian energy. We learned the hard way that it's going to be very costly. Now we are also worried about, dependencies on technologies that come from China. And of course, in terms of security, we have been dependent now also on United States, and we are doing more to be more independent when it comes to security.
One of the examples of perhaps Europeans thinking about de-risking from the United States.
The French
is a
couldn't fight
conversation about
themselves
nuclear.
out of a paper bag. That's why they're ranked like somewhere they're in the top 10 of the most effective militaries. You realize they have one of the only expeditionary militaries in the world? China doesn't even have that.
Deterrence. We heard from the Chancellor of Germany, Friedrich Merz.
Sorry, gang. We like our European allies out here. It's half of the reason we're so successful. So,
saying openly that he was talking to France about perhaps extending their nuclear deterrence to Europe.
and I don't know about you, but Macron looked like he was the leader of the free world. Macron was looking like the leader of the fucking free world earlier.
Other foreign ministers who were certainly talking about that. Is that a sign
so you're
that
not serious. Okay, Dammy. You're not a serious person. Got you. No, that's okay.
Europe does not have faith in the U.S. nuclear deterrent?
These discussions are out there. I don't think it's good for the overall peace of the world, because these are very dangerous weapons.
Not a good idea to even have the discussions, or you're saying not a good idea to extend nuclear weapons?
Yes, I think, the discussions are there. It's always good to have discussions. What are the options, really? But we are in this point where...
Macron is a pansy? Nah, dog. Macron would destroy Donald Trump any day of the week on a debate stage. Sorry, that's just not facts you're spitting. Poor Russia. They don't have to try this hard. We've got more than enough misinformation flying.
We are entering into a very dangerous world where we might see more nuclear weapons. But at the same time, I can understand where these countries are coming from. Exactly, the risks are higher.
Let me ask about Alexei Navalny, the former Russian opposition figure who died in Russian detention. 5 European countries have come out and said that he was poisoned, quote, with a lethal toxin found in poison dart frogs in South America. What does that say about Vladimir Putin's Russia?
Well, it says what we have always known. I mean, it is literally dictator's handbook. I mean, how you remain in power is that you eliminate all the potential competitors. Keep the oligarchs and the power structures happy, and you are staying in power. So that's very clear.
Sounds kind of similar to something happening here in America. I'm sure that's not concerning at all. France would not be anywhere without the U.S. Well, you realize the U.S. would not be anywhere without France, right? France literally is one of the reasons we won the Revolutionary War. So, why all the hate on France? That's so weird. That are they too woke? Is that why you don't like France? Are they too woke for you? They're too woke. The women are too attractive there. I think that might be it.
That he's operating like this. He's
not just one war. Oh my God. Did you forget about when NATO was activated on 9/11? Ooh, actually, hold on. I don't know if France was part of that. Let me check.
To stay in power.
And finally, on Ukraine, European intelligence.
They are a weak, pathetic people, bro. That's embarrassing. Because when you're a bigot like MAGA, you hate everything but pedos. Amen. Sorry I gave you a Republican voice. Sometimes you know, when we get a Trump dump, you never know what's gonna come in. Because when you're, or my bad, woke, in my culture, nonsense. Yes, all NATO allies. Yeah, I thought so. I've never had a Frenchman stand behind me with a saw. I don't get it. I don't get it. What does that mean? Guys, can somebody decipher that? It was perfect. Hell yeah. I'm glad you liked it. By the way, if you guys are enjoying the stream, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel and gets the lib message boosted out there. We just did the podcast. If you guys want to check out Rage and Resist, it'll be under Rage and Resist FM on my channel, so check it out. We had a good conversation, and we might be having a special guest next week that I know a lot of my libs will know. New sub? Hey, thank you so much. That means the world to me. Thank you. Anyways, let's continue.
Intelligence officials here briefed reporters and said that Vladimir Putin is not negotiating in good faith. U.S. officials, as you know, believe they are making progress. Who's right?
We see a strong push for peace, but it's one-sided. You know, we have heard what Ukraine is willing to also concede, but Russians are just playing time.
Why do I get told about your stream only when I've had like 8 beers? Well, that's a good question. You might be more in touch with the Etherverse at that point. And I do put out a signal in the ether whenever I go live.
And pretending to negotiate, so that's not really serious. They want to have absolute maximalist goals delivered by the Americans diplomatically, what they haven't been able to conquer militarily.
Oh, you're talking about the Saul from Call of Duty. Okay. Yeah, it's a cool gun. I like it. What about it though?
I don't know where this belief comes that actually there's progress made.
Kaya Kallas, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Interesting facts there.
Federal and state.
So, if you guys want to know my general opinions on increase in European defense spending, I mean, I'm okay with it, but we want to be moving towards a world where that type of stuff, like, we don't need that. So, but, you know, I'm fine with it. I think if Europe was in a position where America couldn't bully them, we might have a much more fair and equal society. To be fair, thus, for only info about your streams have been through Kalinda's Discord, and usually I check it out right after I have a night out. Might be a bit of my own fault. Well, no, don't worry about it. I hope you enjoy the stream. Shout out to Kalinda, fellow content creator, and Stacy of the Libs. We really appreciate her out here. If I remember correctly, France has won more wars than any country since their inception, or that's they've been through more wars, unless I'm misremembering. Yeah, France is Chads. France is full of Chads and Stacys. They were one of the very first nations to appeal to the ideas of democracy, so we appreciate them.
State law enforcement are still looking for Nancy Guthrie, the mother of Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie.
All right, Danny, so you have no idea what... You just don't want America to be number 1. You want America to be like number 3. You want Russia and China to be number 1. I get it.
Local police addressed rumors today that Guthrie...
Or Europe. You want Europe to come into its own in terms of alliance structures and in terms of military might, that they can just challenge us. Oh, that's great. We love that.
3 family members may have been involved in her disappearance. In a statement, Pima County Sheriff said they've been cleared as possible suspects and that to suggest otherwise is not...
Okay, guys, I'm going to be honest. Does anybody really care about the Nancy Guthrie case? No offense. I mean, it's horrible that she has been captured, and that's not good, but anybody really care? The U.S. should have always been #1 until the personification of America happened. What does that even mean? So you agree, you want America to be #1. So with that logic, you want us to provide the security for nations. Because if nations can provide their own security, what reasoning do they have to work with the U.S. beside our trade? Which, given, trade is a big thing. But it continually seems to be... Our services continually seem to be getting outsourced to either AI or places that will do it cheaper, so... Yeah, Europe is nowhere near as weak as people believe. That's another thing. Thinking America should be #1 is part of the problem with America. Well, hey, I think the ideals of democracy and freedom are amazing, you know, and I want to spread those as far and wide as I can. But obviously, MAGA is not America first. They don't like America because they wouldn't have such an issue with everything that America does.
Not only wrong, it is cruel. But there is some hope that a found glove may contain DNA from a potential suspect. Stephanie Tsai has more.
I'll be honest, I don't really care. I mean, 100% I do. It's just that this is one individual and we have more important things happening. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. I mean, I hope they're okay, of course, but I meant to write, I'm from one of the European countries. Oh, you're fine. What problems does MAGA have with America? A lot of issues. They don't like how we vote. They don't like how we express our freedom of thought, our freedom of speech. They don't like how we express our Second Amendment right. They don't like a lot of things.
As the search for Nancy Guthrie enters its 3rd week, her daughter Savannah made another heartfelt plea to whoever knows her mom's whereabouts.
It is never too late to do the right thing.
All right. I am so sad to hear about that. But let's get to the news wrap.
Also today, a major winter storm is piling up snow in the mountains of Northern California and hitting much of the...
Our voting system is not fucked. Our voting system is completely fine. It's extremely decentralized. You know, it's completely fine, guys. I don't know why you guys seem to have such a... Well, no, I do know why. It's because you know what's coming in these midterms and you're deathly afraid of it. You're so full of shit. MAGA... Dude, listen to what you just said and see how you are meme-holing yourself right now. You've fallen into a meme hole. Uh-oh. Look left. Look right. Nothing but wall. Look up. It's a big hole. You've fallen in a meme hole.
Rest of the state with heavy rain.
Free driving licenses to illegals? Do you have any proof of that other than just word of mouth and what you heard?
Rain and strong winds. In the Sierra Nevada, nearly a foot of snow had fallen by this morning, and forecasters say there is plenty...
And if that's the case, then a voter ID law isn't going to do shit, because they already have an ID.
More on the way. Much of California is under winter storm warnings through Wednesday, and in those upper elevations, forecasters expect up to 8 feet of snow. In the meantime, residents in the center of the country are facing a very different problem.
No, don't let MAGA, look it up. It's state legislation. Well, if that's the case, then then they would okay, here's the constantly shifting goalpost you have. Either A, California enacted these licenses, and so they're in the system, so they would already know if they're illegal and not allow them to vote. Or B, they're allowing illegals to lie, which you would need to lie and say they are citizens. So that's what you're going to need to find. You're going to need to find where it's okay for them, where the state of California says it's okay to lie about being a citizen. I don't think you're going to find that.
With fire warnings due to higher than expected temperatures, gusty winds, and dry conditions. In Georgia, a trial is underway for a man whose teenage son allegedly killed
Yes to which one? Are they making them citizens or are they lying? Which one is it? It's not both.
Four people in a school.
Okay, I'm not even I'm just going to accept what you're saying. California gives out licenses to illegal. So if they have a license, wouldn't they already know that they're illegal? Like, I don't get your point. Lying, loophole. Oh, okay. Got
It's the latest
you.
instance of officials trying to hold
I wish I
parents
could
accountable
just
for
see.
the action.
I'm taking you guys honestly. I'm listening to what you say. I don't claim you're lying. You have to do that with me though. And I think that's very sad. Hashtag
Of
sad.
their children. During opening statements today, prosecutors said Colin Gray knew his son, then 14 years old, had an obsession with school shooters and suffered from deteriorating mental health.
This case is about this defendant and his actions. His actions in allowing a child that he has custody over access to a firearm and ammunition after being warned that that child was going to harm others.
Despite the warning signs, prosecutors say
Lord
Elder
Xenu, good for you to step out of your space cult for a little bit and join me. See, like that right there, what Gradual Decay just said. You're a Democrat. Lying is your bread and butter. Like, dude, I don't say you're lying. I don't sit here and say, oh, you're a big fat liar. But you guys do to me. And I think that just shows the cult-like mentality that MAGA has, where they always have to hate on the other. And they can't, because if they were to listen to me and hear a few things that they agree with, that would be like thought crime.
still gifted his son a gun for Christmas. He's pleaded not guilty to 29 counts, including second-degree murder and cruelty to children. 2 students and 2 teachers were killed in the shooting at Appalachia High School in September of 2024. Ukrainian and Russian officials are gathering in Geneva this week for the latest U.S. brokered talks aimed at ending the war. The Kremlin said today that
Colt, who is indoctrinating children to mutilate themselves? No one. No one is doing that. Colt, who celebrates murder? You guys do. You guys were celebrating when Nancy Pelosi and Melissa Hortman. Well, when Nancy Pelosi's husband got beat up and when Melissa Hortman was gunned down. When Alex Preddy and Renee Good were murdered on the street. You guys celebrated that. Why don't, here, Gradual Decay, you're in here a lot. Why don't you engage with that, man? Why did you guys celebrate Alex Preddy and Renee Good? Why did I have people coming in my chat saying that that was a good thing to happen? I never saw that with Charlie Kirk's shooting. You just gotta act like a child? No, answer the question. You're the one acting like a child by not answer. You're being like, no, 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 I didn't hear you.
the negotiations will involve what it called the main issues, such as the delicate question of how much territory it wants Ukraine to give up. Meanwhile, in Kyiv today,
President, so good to see you. Thank you.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky welcomed 2 Democratic U.S. senators and thanked them for Washington's support in the talks. This comes as the attacks from both sides continue. This weekend,
Oh
Russian
my
strike-
God, ASDF, do you need me to pull up my chat logs and show you that they were celebrating death? Here, I'll give you another. What Republican senator tweeted out to Melissa Hortman? Oh, who was that really important Oh, Donald Trump Jr. was the one that tweeted out a picture in a pair of undies saying, or a picture of a pair of undies and a hammer saying new Halloween outfit. There's your evidence. Embarrassing. Did Democratic supporters celebrate Charlie Kirk's death? None that I saw. But I'm sure some oddball on TikTok was, and that is representative of the entire party, I guess.
In Ukraine's Odessa region killed at least 1 person, with both Ukraine and Russia reporting further military attacks today. Meanwhile, supporters of Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny have been marking 2 years since his death in an Arctic penal colony. In Moscow, mourners laid flowers at his grave as representatives.
You claim
from
you didn't
several
see
European
anybody
embassies
celebrate
paid their
Kirk's
respects.
shooting, which has no bearing on anything? Yeah, it does, because Gradual Decay literally just said that Democrats celebrate death, and I was bringing up the fact that no, we don't.
The tributes come just days after 5 European nations released.
I think Charlie Kirk was a piece of shit, but okay, ASDF, I'm sorry, I don't have videos saved of Republicans cheering and celebrating as Charlie Kirk, or not Charlie Kirk, as Melissa Hortman died. I'm sorry I don't have that. Personal anecdotes aren't evidence. Oh, okay. What evidence do you want me to bring?
A joint statement saying that Navalny was poisoned with a rare toxin linked to poison dart frogs. Navalny's mother, Lyudmila Navalnaya, says it proves he was murdered and called for accountability.
Oh my goodness. Now, this is something that Republicans do now that they are backed into a corner. They fight about words and like the meaning of things because they can't back up any policy decisions. I'm sorry my vernacular isn't to your liking, ASDF. You can, of course, swipe down and be rid of that if you would like.
Вот 2 года всего прошло, и мы уже знаем.
2 years have passed, and we already know what he was poisoned with. Of course, we want justice to prevail, and for us to know all of
Do you want me to show the tweets of Hakeem Jeffries, Joe Biden, and everybody condemning it? Is that what you want? I really don't understand what you're arguing for here is. I think you realize that you've came into a meme hole and you don't know how to get out of it.
names.
The Kremlin denied the latest poisoning.
But look at ASDF standing upon his balcony, looking down at the masses. Ha ha ha! You fools! I am much more enlightened. I am the smart one. Ha ha ha! Isn't that what MAGA was against? Kind of ironic how they're taking that position now.
Allegations, calling them, quote, biased and unfounded. And the world of cinema has lost 2 giants. We start with documentary filmmaker and producer Frederick Wiseman.
Next, let's go.
Amen, Professor Oak.
In his direct...
There's Democrat and Republican supporters that think the earth is flat. Does that make the whole party flat earthers? Well, it's even worse because there was no Democratic leader that celebrated the death of Charlie Kirk. Bro, what's up, Mud? Bruh.
Directorial debut, Titicut Follies in 1967, Wiseman took an unsparing look at conditions.
Oh my God. This man really is trying to say. This man really is trying to say that I can't say no Democrat said that because I can't account for every single Democrat, and he's counting that as a lie. So embarrassing.
Inside a mental hospital in Massachusetts. The title comes from the variety show put on by inmates. The film was banned for years, but eventually aired on.
Yeah, don't worry. All MAGA has is semantics right now. Their movement is dead. Trump didn't deliver. And now they're fizzling out. And you see it in real time as they fight each other and eat each other alive.
PBS in the early 1990s once that ban was lifted.
Oh, geez. Bro, only a Sith deals in absolutes. Bro literally did the fucking only a Sith deals in absolutes to me.
Wiseman went on to create dozens of films over a nearly 6.
Wait, what did I do? Sorry, I didn't, I may have missed you. Wait, I think you were talking to somebody else. Okay. Babies, and what happened to Loving Mark's mask during COVID, MAGA? Amen, dude. Amen. Now they're all for him. Babies in the womb just got legal rights. I don't think that's true. Voter ID is a go. Still not. That's just not true. Epstein files falling apart. No, my friend. The Epstein files are still very alive.
Decade career that explored and sometimes exposed America's social and cultural.
Shout out to Winter for catching that. That's what I tried to say no Democrat leader, but they must have gotten caught in the crosshairs or something.
Institutions. He worked well into his 90s, and in 2016 he received an honorary Academy Award. His family announced his passing through Zipporah Films, the distribution company he founded in 1971.
Yeah, not true in Kansas either. You know what Kansas did when the Supreme Court made that ruling? And I love Kansas, guys. It's becoming purple, I'll have you know. But you know what Kansas did? We said, fuck no, that's a woman's right to choose, and codified Roe v. Wade. Get fucked. That's a generally red state.
Frederick Wiseman was 96 years old.
MAGA does not support legal immigration. As a matter of fact, with Donald Trump canceling so many temporary protected status, he's actually making more illegal immigrants.
Also tonight, one of Hollywood's most memorable legends, Robert Duvall, has died. The Academy Award winner enjoyed a long and storied career, carving out a lane as both an unorthodox leading man and a supporting player in some of the greatest films in movie history.
I get to go home, get high, and play WoW soon? Fuck yeah, that sounds sick as hell, bro.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Over a career spanning more than 60 years, Robert Duvall became one of America's most respected and versatile actors in Hollywood history, known for his incredible range and command of the screen.
Clarence, take it easy. How the hell could I?
Lord Xenu, if somebody's killing a woman, then fine, charge them with double homicide. I don't give a fuck. They shouldn't have killed that woman in the first place. But yes, I generally agree that if that is the case, but it really depends on how far along someone is and...
What's just going on now?
He got his start on an early classic, playing Boo Radley in
So this is Robert Duvall?
1962's
Yeah, let's remember
To Kill a
him.
Mockingbird, a wordless role in which he made a mark. A broad spectrum of films and roles followed. the villain opposite John Wayne in the epic American Western True Grit, and the inept and often pompous...
I kind of want to start watching some more Westerns. I've been seeing some shorts, and they look pretty fun. Fuck Trump? Amen, doof bay boof. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for stopping by the chat. If you guys are enjoying this, Duval, not DeVille, oops. If you guys are enjoying the stream, by the way, please remember to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel and gets me boosted out there. We got an active chat today, which we always love to
Major
see.
Frank Burns and MASH.
Keep your filthy mouth to yourself.
But it wasn't until the role of Tom Hagen for The Godfather, a concerned lawyer and consigliere for the Corleone crime family, that would launch Duvall's career.
Even the shooting of your father was business, not personal, Sonny.
Well, I always knew after Godfather 1 I would do maybe okay, but I knew that it might happen in 10 years after everybody else. And somebody once said between 25 and 40 they're good actors. After that something happens in a negative way. So I always tried to remember that and think of my...
Yeah, Zach, the federal government. That's where the law is.
myself in the potential. As I grow older, I have more experience, and I feel I have more to offer, that I can become a better performer.
Duvall was known for bringing naturalism to his role.
Well, Mudbutters, sometimes it kind of does feel like we have to send them back to elementary school. Like, holy shit. They don't understand basic functions of our government. And I'm actually working on a little side project where I look at the Daughters of the Confederacy, and I think they have a lot to blame for why our school system is so bad.
Roles. His ability to transform reached another high mark in 1979 when he played a tyrannical
Hey, shout out to AB. I appreciate that. Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel.
father and fighter pilot in The Great Santini.
Hey, mama's boy, mama's boy. I bet you're gonna cry. Come on, mama's boy.
Well, you know, I don't think the libraries are free, but I think you're going to need someone to guide them along with that information, because it's very obvious that they can't just take information and put it into they can't take information and put it into something that is real, like aligned with his history. I hope that makes sense.
That same year, some of his most memorable work in less than 20 minutes.
No, Lord Zeno, you don't get it. No. No, you see, the same, you're talking about, like, people like Donald Trump, right? We don't enjoy killing babies. I just want you to know that. It's not our goal. We're not pro abortion every baby. Which, you know, it may shock some people that I have to say that, but MAGA really is inundated with a slew of misinformation.
Of total screen time, playing Lieutenant Colonel.
And Donald Trump, I mean, it's kind of ironic you guys pretended to care so much about children, but now you guys are so quiet about the Epstein files. What about the 1,000+ children that got trafficked?
Kilgore in Apocalypse Now. Duvall was nominated for 7 Oscars, winning his only one for his performance as a washed-up country music star in the much quieter Tender.
Wow, ASDF, that is very racist, I would say. You're pro-abortion only for certain groups of people? Who are those groups of people, my friend? Why don't you let the chat know?
Mercies.
Then let me rest my head for a while.
Duvall also stepped behind the camera, writing and directing, as well as starring in The Apostle as a deeply flawed preacher seeking redemption. The performance would earn him another Academy Award nomination.
Who are those groups? Who are those groups, ASDF? I want to know. You are so infatuated about the Epstein files. You never say anything about Joe Biden being in the Epstein files. Where is Joe Biden in the Epstein files, my friend? Is he mentioned as many times as Trump? Race is, oh, ethnic groupings. Okay, so you're pro literally ethnic cleansing. Is that what you're saying? That's pretty gross and un-American as fuck. Honestly, like, it just breaks my heart that these people, there's people like that in our country, you know? I'll be honest, that is disgusting. And you should honestly, you know, the internet provides a certain amount of anonymity, but you should, like, in a normal setting, people would be absolutely disgusted with what you just said there. And there's a reason you only say it to the internet.
For multiple Emmys as well.
Yeah, try to backtrack a little bit. Embarrassing.
Including for one of his best roles in the miniseries Lonesome Dove as
Un-American as fuck, by the way. After all this country has went through. After all this country has went through. All the strife. It was my senior paper in ethics. Oh, wow. I'm sure.
Gus McCrae.
I'm giving you a reason to go off on another adventure.
The show was a huge hit and set a new standard for television series. In all, Duvall had more than 140 film and television acting credits and remained active into his 90s. His family said he died peacefully in his home in Virginia.
Do you think Bill Gates or Clinton are more guilty than Trump? I mean, my brother. If you want to throw them in jail, throw them in jail. I want you to keep that same heat. I would love to make America better. Well, America is best when it's diverse and it has multiple different cultures flowing through it. The ideals of freedom, liberty, and justice for all can be applied almost anywhere, and they will still hold true.
Yeah, Robert Duvall.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't see any white supremacists in the files. Yes, you do. What the fuck are you on about? Elon Musk was begging to go to the island. White supremacy is lame as fuck. Since when does diversity add strength? China is pretty damn strong. Not really. I mean, yeah, China's strong, of course, but I have a feeling China already is seeing internal strife. So I don't think that at all has any bearings. And also think about what China had to do to get there. How many people of their own people they had to slaughter. So no names were released? Are you talking about the list Pam Bondi sent?
Was 95 years old.
Still to come on the News Hour, Tamara Keith and Amy Walter break down the latest political headlines.
All right, ASDF, you are one of the types of people that should get the fuck out of my chat. Anyways, I don't like bigots. I don't like people advocating for supremacy in any fucking way. Sorry, gang. I'm usually pretty chill on that, but you're not going to sit in my chat and advocate for fucking white supremacy. That's lame as fuck.
Well, the fallout continues from the Epstein files. On Saturday, the Justice
No names. Well, hey, look, Lord Xenu, we're talking about it. Howard Lutnick is a big one that's currently in government.
Department sent a letter to Congress that included a list of names of, quote, political
Gradual is the product of the No Child Left Behind Act. Lord Xenu, no.
exposed persons mentioned in the files of convicted sex offender Jeffrey
Divine 7777 says you're a fool, a big fool. Thank you.
Epstein. Our justice correspondent Ali Rogan has been digging into all of this and joins us now. So Ali, let's start.
All right, well, how about MAGA? Why don't you sit down and listen to what Ali's got to say?
With that letter from the Justice Department, it contains hundreds of names, very little context. Why did the DOJ release this now?
So this letter was intended as a communication to Congress saying that they have released all the documents that are relevant to the Epstein Files Transparency Act, which required
Other
the
names
release of
were
these documents.
released?
Of course, we also
My mod? I didn't see Bill in the chat. Maybe he was, though. That does remind me, we do need to have mod elections. I think that needs to happen. But anyways, no, there have been there are multiple names that people are talking about. European leaders are stepping down because of their relations to Jeffrey Epstein.
also know that there are another 2.5 million documents that are remaining secret. The law also required the DOJ to release this list of all government officials and politically exposed persons named or referenced in the files. The DOJ says that's why they released this list, which contains about 280 names, but neither the Epstein law nor the DOJ
What's up with the
define
MAGAs in this chat room? Well, I like to call them Trump dumps, and every so often YouTube will dump a couple Trumps, and we get inundated with misinformation. But it gives me space, and it gives me an area to push back and fight against their nonsense. Every time you say Ludnick, I just think of Rudnick from the film Heavy Metal. That sounds fucking sick. And I love when MAGA, like, they totally betray their previous ideals and they start acting like the smarter person. You said all names were redacted except victim names. Oh, Lord Xenu, congratulations, my friend. Oh, together? You did both of them? That's so impressive, man. You did both. Wow, you're a good guy. You get to go to timeout. 30 minutes. I'll see you later, man. We're not going to say the F slur. Jesus.
what politically exposed actually means. So there are a number of disparate names here with, as you said, very little context. It includes people that Epstein was never known to have met, including Princess Diana, Janis Joplin, Elvis Presley. The DOJ did note that might be because some people ended up in the files because they were...
Can't listen to such idiocy. Well, it seems like you're doing a pretty good job of it right now. And I really appreciate that. By the way, if you guys are enjoying the stream like Divine7777, please remember to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel and gets me boosted out there in the algorithm.
Made their way into emails.
Well, a number of lawmakers have been calling for more transparency from the Justice Department. What's their response to this?
We heard over the weekend from both Congressman Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie, who have been...
Yeah, imagine how boring... Yeah, America would not be what we are without diversity. We wouldn't be. We would be a different culture. We would be totally different and alien to what we are now, so...
For more information, in a post on X, Khanna said the DOJ was once again purposefully muddying the waters with this list that they've provided, and he called for 3 actions: release the full files, stop protecting predators, redact only the survivors' names. And Massey said the DOJ still has to produce internal documents explaining their decision-making over declining to investigate or prosecute certain individuals. So, Anna, this seems far from over.
Meanwhile, we know the fallout from this has spread overseas. There's been a number of people who faced backlash in
By the
Europe.
way, if anybody disagrees, feel free to call in and we can have a good faith debate. I'm not nearly as confrontational as a lot of the other content creators in this space. I try to have a good faith conversation and see if we can come to an agreement, because at the end of the day is what we're going for here. We don't like Trump's divisiveness, so we counteract it with positivity and bridge building. And people have tried to make positivity cringe. I think that's so lame, dude. It's cringe to be a doomer, in my opinion. It is so fucking cringe to think that everything is over, life sucks. You know, fuck that. The world is a dope place. Carpe diem, my friend. Carpe diem.
As the Epstein files have been released, the reaction here in the U.S. has been more muted, though. What do we know about that?
In Europe, there does seem to be an Epstein domino effect. In the UK, we've seen Prime Minister Keir Starmer lose an ambassador and 2 top aides because of their connections to Epstein. The former Prince Andrew is also under police investigations. Royals and politicians in
This is something I kind of wanted to bring up, but I forgot about in the podcast. I'm going to start writing down a better list. You have better things to do, like shave your nuts with a spoon? This is what I'm taught. What is MAGA? And they're always talking about sex, dude. They're always either talking about their balls, their penis, other people's balls, other people's peni. I mean, dude, can you just stop it for a little bit? Nobody wants to hear that. Like, we live in... I get it. See, we actually do live in a civil society, but MAGA must live in, like, some alternate reality where it's okay to just randomly bring up sexual things. I've given nothing. I've given nothing. I think Nordic countries are a fucking masterpiece of inclusivity. Even here, hundreds of thousands of people needed to be relocated due to Soviets invaded, and we re-included them all here. Well, that's amazing. I think that's beautiful and speaks to... I think when we combine cultures, it brings out the best in us, not the worst, like these people want to see.
Sweden, Norway, France, Slovakia, all coming under fire. So it does seem that while inclusion in the files is not an indication of any wrongdoing, the court of public opinion in Europe has clearly been thoroughly rendered its judgment. Here in the U.S., though, the backlash, as you said, has been quieter, and the departures and resignations.
Oh yeah, Yankee, I think you're what we call a well, you're just coping. You used to be MAGA. Yeah, exactly. No, you're still MAGA, bro. You agree with everything that MAGA does. You support every action MAGA does, but you know that Trump's a pedophile, so you don't want to be associated with that.
Have come from lower profile people, talent executive Casey
But
Wasserman.
unfortunately for you, the MAGA movement dies with Donald. Trump cut taxes on tips only up to a certain point. Democrat reinstated the tax. Illinois Democrats hate you. Well, maybe because it just doesn't really do anything. It's not going to mean, even if there were no tax on tips, we shouldn't be working in a tip economy, dude. Don't you want people to have a stable job income rather than just getting tipped? Joe Biden is a pedophile? No, he's not. What evidence do you have of that? Are you talking about a diary stolen by House Republicans? That's interesting. And if you use that as a example of Biden being a pedophile, then Trump is a notorious trafficker and diddler. He's a diddler. Trump is a known diddler then.
Announced he would be.
He's in the Epstein files. Dude, what does that even mean? The reason we point to Trump is because Trump is mentioned more times than God in the Bible. Mentioned more times than Harry Potter in the fucking wizardly adventures of Harry Potter.
Selling his firm due to his connections with Ghislaine Maxwell. Obama-era White House counsel Kathy Rumler stepped down from her role as chief legal officer for Goldman Sachs following the release of her emails with Epstein. And chairman of Hyatt Hotels, Tom Pritzker, said he deeply regrets his association with Epstein and Maxwell and that he is stepping down.
Gerrymandering is atrocious. Amen. We need... P.S. Bro, you have a date link to your Discord, the link to YouTube. Oh, yeah, I got you, dog. Don't worry. The Discord is just Kalinda's Discord, though. Right now, that's what what I gotta work with. But I do think, I am thinking about getting a new Discord. Let me get you guys a new link, though. Oh, by the way, guys, make sure to donate to the link in the description if you guys want to support people in Ukraine getting care packages during this hard winter in Ukraine. You know, with Russia constantly attacking the energy infrastructure, it's almost become impossible to stay warm. Cool, bro. I'll bother you there more. Hey, hell yeah. I appreciate it. But here, I'm updating the link. The screen's going to go dark for just one moment. That should be active for at least today. I need to remember to do permanent links next time. Slava Ukraini. Amen, dude. Amen. Trump is investigated myself and found no wrongdoing. Exactly, right? I have declared I've got a crack team. Kash Patel was on the case and he has declared me completely innocent. It's really something, isn't it? Trump is a brilliant president and a good man. I disagree.
From his post immediately. But Amna, there are many other high-profile political figures who are going about their business.
Yeah, why would supporting Ukraine be so objectable to these people? Don't you understand that Ukraine, like the Ukrainian people, are fighting for freedom and democracy 1,000 times more than America is? We are very proud of President Trump. What are you proud about? Can you name one thing?
Including former Trump advisor and MAGA star Steve Bannon and Commerce.
Immigration. How much you want to bet it's that? That's the usual one they point to, but he's failing on immigration. The government is shut down because of his failed immigration.
Secretary Howard Lutnick.
It's our justice correspondent, Ali Rogan. Great reporting. Thank you.
You bet.
I'm a fraud. I'm a liar. I'm a cheat. I know the user in chat with the username Franco. Probably a coincidence, but it's so funny that they're slobbering over Trump. Oh yeah, no, I got what you're saying. What's up? Hey, good to see you. How are you doing, Messi?
A partial government shutdown is underway, and with Congress out this week and unlikely to return until...
So I wish I would have delved into this a little bit more in the podcast, but this shutdown, this partial government shutdown, you know, we probably won't start feeling the effects for until like a month or two in. But I feel once we do start feeling those effects, they really will start to pile up. Because TSA workers aren't going to show up. And it's going to cause a lot of real issues. Not super huge, like we got to open it now, but just minor inconveniences that will annoy people. And that's what we want. USA is literally a country of immigrants, and it used to fight tyrants and for freedom against Nazis and shit. Now it's just a sad shit show. Well, I hope someday we regain our former glory, because I think the world needs power that is like the US to fight for democracies. And that's why I highly recommend you donate in the link in the chat, because Ukraine is on the front lines of fighting for democracy. Trump, best president ever. Ever? FDR was bad? Abraham Lincoln? You're putting Trump over Abraham Lincoln?
Until next week, many employees of agencies under the Department of Homeland Security will continue working without pay for the foreseeable future. Congressman Hakeem Jeffries of New York is the top Democrat in the House, and I spoke with him.
Yeah, America's winning by pushing our closest trade partner into China's arms. Whee! America's winning.
Afternoon. Leader Jeffries, welcome back to the NewsHour. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks to be with you.
So without a funding deal now, we're in day 3 of another partial government shutdown. We know Congress is out all week. So does that mean that...
Do donations go through you first? No, I have no association with the PayPal whatsoever. It is directly going to care packages for... It is headed by my good friend Mina, and content creator you guys may know, known as Ukrainian Anna. So they're the ones heading it up. I just think it's a worthy goal, and I think it's worthwhile to donate to. Oh yeah, that is true. It does go to my account in Qatar. That's true. That's a lie, by the way, guys.
Shutdown is going to last at least that long.
Well, as Democrats, we continue to be ready, willing, and able to sit down with our Republican colleagues anytime, any place, in order to make sure that we can get...
Trump is a mess at everything. Amen, Mimi. I like your name, by the way. Yeah, I think he's just... It's incompetence. It's incompetence, and unfortunately... Ah, damn it. I was going to play I thought I had the clip of Trump shitting himself. It's incontinence as well.
Get ICE under control. The American people deserve to have their taxpayer dollars used to make their...
Just look at this Chad, dude. Look at this absolute Chadwick. Ladies, calm down. I know it's a lot. I know. Look at him.
In order to make sure that we can get ICE under control. The American people deserve to have their taxpayer dollars...
Sadly, I have no military background, so I'd be a burden to Ukraine. So thus far, I've done my part in organizing more fire engines and firefighting gear there. I'd love to do more. Oh, that is super cool. Oh, I love that. That is badass as hell. And that is gear that they need, because the way that Russia has been attacked with such wanton destruction is causing a lot of devastation, and they even target firefighters sometimes. So that is that's great work you're doing out there. Riots hurt America. Interesting. Wonder how America was started. Do you guys remember the initial actions? I forgot. I forgot.
to make their life more affordable and not to brutalize or kill them, as was tragically the case with Renee Nicole Good and Alex Preddy. And we simply believe, as a value proposition,
Kamala would have destroyed America. That's where you're just wrong. Kamala wouldn't have constantly agitated our closest allies, pushing them further into the arms of our adversaries. Kamala wouldn't have done a wanton deportation strategy where she allows ICE to racially profile. Kamala would have had lower prices because she would have addressed things like price gouging and market insider trading. You don't see any of that with Trump. Trump's defunding the IRS.
That immigration enforcement in this country, it should be fair, it should be just, and it should be humane. Donald Trump promised to target violent felons who are here illegally. Instead, ICE has been targeting law-abiding immigrant families and brutalizing American communities. That's unacceptable. And that
Yeah, I don't think that comes across quite. I mean, they really are targeting immigrant families, even people who are here legally. They're trying to deport. ICE is out of fucking control, dude. And honestly, I don't know if the rumblings and shouts for justice end until some people are prosecuted.
that needs to change.
In terms of where talks are to get to some kind of deal, though, we know Democrats.
Did anybody hear that they finally gave the Lumbee tribe? They finally gave the... What? They finally gave the Lumbee tribe. That's the thing. There's no targeting going on. The people that they are apprehending are already on the list for apprehension. No, they're not on a list for apprehension. That's a lie. They're not doing targeted raids. They're doing wanton street patrols where they go out and try to grab people. That is not what people voted for. They did not vote for racial profiling. See, here's the list of Democrats' demands, and I think we can go over this real quick. Let me know in chat if any of these are unreasonable. So number one on the list is targeted enforcement. DHS officers cannot enter private property without a judicial warrant, end indiscriminate arrest, and improve warrant procedures and standards. Why is that hard? No, you're lying, Gob. According to the statistics, only 17% of these people are violent criminals. Where'd you get that data from, liar? For one, there's no targeting. That's the issue. They need to target specific people. So targeted enforcement, that's what we need. We want targeted enforcement. Who's they, by the way? They act. The Democrats? Anyways, so I think that's reasonable. Let me know in chat if that's wrong. Also, your numbers are off. Biden only let in 3 million people. Anyways, next up, no masks. I agree with this one. Why are these people such cowards and hiding behind masks? Every other federal agent doesn't wear a mask. Why do they get to wear a mask? What's their special privilege? Dude, Gob, you are having a schizophrenic rant in my chat right now. Because you got checked on multiple fact. And these people who agree to self-deport Okay, I don't know many people who have self-deported, but I think that's sad that people want to leave our country. Rather than the simple answer is giving these people citizenship and allowing the people to come out of the shadows. So the people that don't come out of the shadows, we know are up to bad shit. But that's the easy answer. That's the answer that would lead to the least amount of human suffering. 99% of all ICE incarcerations are fine? No, we don't. We don't cherry pick. That's not true. Anyways, require ID. I think that's totally sensible. Protect sensitive locations. I mean, why? Agree to self-deport. That shit is clearly written by AI. Ooh, that's true, actually. The AI has been getting more advanced. I need to watch out for them better. Protect. So, like, why do you think it's okay for ICE to rummage into a hospital and grab somebody? Why do you think it's okay for them to go into schools and medical facilities? No, a child predator is considered a violent offender. Stop fucking lying. You have no idea what you're talking about. Jesus. No racial profiling. I mean, that one's hard. I can see that one must be a hard one right there. Not racially profile. I mean, I know I'm asking the world here, but I don't think it's that hard not to racially profile. It's such a piece of shit move to give away American affordable housing and jobs just because you want to cancel out their votes? Bro, you are deep in the conspiracy hole. You have no evidence that there are illegal people voting. I don't like that word. Undocumented people voting here. Hey, I have some free time. Any chance I can join in all about the bullshit people talk about and maybe give a different point of view? Yeah, sure. You can hop in the I'm in the void. Let me hop in the void real quick and you can hop on in if you would like to. One moment, let me pop into the void here. Yeah, just join the waiting room in Kalinda's Discord. And I can bring you in here. See, typically it's a wave of MAGA I have to fight through and dissuade. So it'd be nice to hear from my fellow libs in the world. Anyways, the next option here is uphold use of force standards. So you guys know the videos of ICE just shooting American citizens on the street? We want to stop that. Anyways, let me bring in my a homie. One moment. Let me wait, can I not? One moment, Frey. Let me Yes, okay. Hello. How are you doing today? Oh, they can't hear me. I'm muted. Hello. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing very well.
Nice to hear that.
Yeah, fighting the MAGA scourge that is my chat room on occasion. Always fun.
Yeah, I can hear that. I mean, basically, I had a fun day. Like, I had a free time. I was actually hosting a bingo night today, and I had a few
Oh.
free beers. I came back home, and after a few beers, and I just, hey, there's stream going on. I joined it, and I see this MAGA search going on, and I just had to stay here.
Oh no, you're good. I totally understand, man. I totally understand. You saw a lib in distress fighting the waves, and you wanted send some aid. Send some aid, as they say. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So you watch Kalinda pretty frequently?
Yeah, I do. Actually, my first instruction to Kalinda was I was watching Loner Box,
Oh
and
yeah, shout out to Loner. It's
like,
dope.
and yeah, like he was reacting to something Kalinda was doing, and yeah, she seemed kind of sensible and cool, and I checked her out, and long story short, here I am.
Well, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. I'm glad to have you in the Cord and in the wider TGDEU. But yeah, we're
Glad to be
just
here.
gonna get to talk what I was talking about. I don't think any of the list of demands that the Democrats have are necessarily unreasonable. Like as I was going, like stopping racial profiling. How is that a controversial? I don't see how that's controversial. But the
Yeah,
Republicans are acting as if we're demanding the sun and moon, and you see the
and
Cope in chat.
I mean, in my perspective, like I'm from Finland,
Hmm.
and like yeah, it's a Nordic country, but even by Nordic standards, Finland is like we are basically Texas of the Nordics.
Yeah,
Like, the thing is, we have conscription, we have the like largest army, and we like almost everybody here is like if we not if you don't have guns, someone you are related to have guns. Like it's fucking Texas of the Nordics,
yeah,
and
I've heard that. Yeah,
the thing is, and even here, like if you want to vote, you need to have like a fucking ID. And personally, that's one of the points like I find confusing about the politics in America. Like, why is it such a controversial thing that you need to have an ID to vote? But then I read a little bit more, and I heard like some states make it so hard for any
yeah,
minorities to have an ID, and
yeah.
here it's
So
like
to give an example,
here like here can I finish like
yeah, of course, my bad.
here like no it's okay, it's okay. And here like even the most right-wing parties agree that everybody who lives here and have citizenship like they can have an ID without any like issues. Like it's like 50 years, and
Oh, for
it's like
voting without
like
a.
like 50 years that you have an ID and it can last like 5 years.
Oh, okay, got you. So it'll the ID last for a very long time. So,
Yeah, so the ID is easy to get and like
mhm.
pretty much like if you say for a few weeks you can get it.
So the issues, I'll give you an example for my state. I don't know about other states. So we do have a voting ID law here in
Can you tell me
Kansas.
what's the Kansas? Okay.
Yeah, Kansas. So we do have
Yeah.
a voting ID law where you do have to show your just a form of citizenship. And as an adverse effect, I do feel like a lot more people just don't vote that should vote. There's a lot of people here that are homeless. It's a growing population actually that are
Yep,
just unable
that's a
to
huge
vote.
issue.
Yeah, and so it's not just that though. Getting an ID here is actually also a bit of an issue because number one, you have to renew your ID every 5 years, I believe it is, or I think it's every let me
Yeah.
check every 10 years. My bad. So you have to renew it every so often, and if it's not renewed, you can't vote. And the Save Act as well is introducing some things such as like showing a passport. I don't know anyone in small town America that has a passport, you know? So
Yeah.
I think it's these types of things that we're kind of afraid of. Like, I'm not necessarily super against the idea of maybe if we can reform how certain states give IDs, then maybe I would be a lot more I'd be
So
okay with it.
basically, uh, I mean, forgive me, I'm a foreigner. I don't
No,
understand
you're
how it
okay.
goes in the States. But did I understand right? So basically, in the States, if you want to get on like official ID, it's mostly done by the states, so it may vary.
Yeah, it varies by state on
Okay.
how easy or hard it is to acquire an ID. And we have voting laws here in Kansas to where you do have to show an ID.
Yeah, I mean, here in Finland, basically, like the types of ID that you can use when voting is either driver's license. Well, I don't have one, so I have like ID card. And fun fact, actually, inside of European Union, I can use that as my passport. So if I don't leave European Union, I just can use that, and I don't need any fucking passport. So it's
If only
actually quite
that.
handy.
Yeah, that's nice. I wish we would have adopted that system. If you have to re-register every so often here in America, it's very strange. We don't really trust our people. But anyways,
I mean, here, like, I think the trust is like one of the biggest factors. Like, I mean, as I mentioned in some of the comments, like just after Finland gained its independence, we had a civil war. It was like basically communists against anti-communists. And the anti-communists, it was during the First World War, and the anti-communists were aided by the German Empire. And basically, even the like basic infantry called in the Finnish army, they are called Jägers, which is German word. Like Finnish military origins are basically based in like First World War, like German Empire shit, like orange ranks and uniforms and terminology are coming from there. And also, basically, Finland was coming as a monarchy that was basically a puppet of the Germany. That was the origin of Finland. But then, well, Germany lost the First World War, and we ended up in a civil war, and Finland was a mess. Then Soviets invaded, and suddenly everybody in Finland decided, okay, maybe we should look past our differences. Sure.
Yeah, I gotta address that that PayPal link does not go to me. That goes to a Ukrainian fund where it buys care packages for people that are suffering in the brutal cold of the Ukrainian winter. So I just wanted to clear that up. Anyways, continue. I'm enjoying this.
And that is basic. I mean, personally, I appreciate all the aid is going to our Ukrainian brothers because they are fighting for their independence, and
well, not just they're fighting for democracy. I mean, they're fighting for their, we should be sending so much more aid to Ukraine because they are hobbling on one of our biggest adversaries, Russia. But instead, we're trying to rub up to Putin. Putin doesn't speak with that language. He speaks in terms of power and raw strength, and we're not showing that.
And actually, and the point I was trying to make with my very long autistic ramble was the difference with us and USA, sadly, is that our civil war divided us, but then we had this external adversary, and that made us come back together. And we found our national unity again. And sadly, even today, after your own civil war, you have this like South vs.
I say it all the time.
I mean, as a fucking foreigner, I've never even been in USA, but like one just need to go in the fucking internet and see that bullshit coming up again. And it's honestly, it's sad because the thing is, I mean, I'm fucking furious about your president threatening our neighbor Denmark
Oh
with
yeah,
military wars.
disgusting.
I'm fucking furious about it, but still, even despite that, I'm so fucking annoyed about USA violently refusing to be the best country it can be, because you could be the best country ever.
Oh yeah,
You
I
have the-
agree.
you
I
could
think we
be.
have the potential, and I think
You
that
really do.
there are certain things in America that are holding us back, and I always mention it, so I won't bore the audience with it. But what I say is things like gerrymandering and the filibuster.
Exactly.
Those two things need to
Yeah.
they need to go. Maybe not the
I mean-
filibuster right now, just because it's preventing the SAVE Act from going through. But I I think the American people need to touch the stove. but-
Gerrymandering and lobbying, there are two things that we will hear called corruption, and it will be illegal, and
Yeah, right.
people were going to jail.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, SCOTUS decided that it's totally fine to vote
Yeah.
on political. You can't discriminate on political lines, but you can, or you can't discriminate on racial lines, but you can discriminate on political lines. That they made that decision, so I don't know how else we're gonna.
Like, Tim Crow
Bring
is
that back.
happy, right? Tim Crow is fucking smiling right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
and
by the
honestly,
way,
like,
we've so
you
far
tell me.
we've raised about 4,090 euros. I don't know what that relates to in
it's like,
money, dollars.
I mean, €1 is like, I think, north about $9. I think it's pretty close.
Oh wow. So we've raised a lot of money. I'm so proud of you guys.
Oh, that's fucking amazing. Honestly,
Yeah, 4,000
Really, that's- yeah.
euros. That is very impressive, and I hope to
I'll
continue
check-
it, you know?
No, €1 is actually $1.19 right now.
When you're 1 point, that's about 5,000 something dollars. That's, or honestly, even
pretty
more
much.
than that.
I mean, that's
I-
quite a many trucks, and that's amazing. Slava Ukraini.
Yeah, Slava Ukraini. I mean, we need to show all our support to our Ukrainian brethren right now, because I agree with you that I don't want America's image to be totally destroyed by Donald
Me
Trump.
neither.
My fear is that he may end up really damaging things, and I may not be able to see a world order the way it's not going to be the way it was ever, but the way a rules-based order. I'm afraid that we may not be, since we're sliding into this multi-polar world order. I think we. Go
Yeah,
on, my bad.
I get it. Yeah, I get it, and I agree. But I mean, I still see some hope. I mean, I think in Europe, we
Oh,
Nordics
yeah,
are
I've
the
got
most
hope,
pissed
for
up.
sure.
Like, thing is, like, of course, the whole Greenland debacle. I mean, it's part of Denmark, and Denmark is part of the Nordics, and we Nordics tend to have this mentality that, like, we have the only right to piss off each other and insult each other. Like, if anybody other,
Yeah.
even inside of Europe, like, for example, if someone from Germany came to tell some dirty jokes about tennis, and we would be fucking taking up arms, basically. Like, but even us, rest of the Nordics, like, we still, like,
Yeah, you
wish
respect each
that
other.
I mean, even after this whole Trump debacle, we still wish that we can mend our relationship with the Americans. Like,
Well, I hope
I mean,
the people of
thing
Europe
is,
know that this is not a representation of of the average American. This is something else. Like most Americans, like They know that
I mean,
NATO is good. For example, they think
I mean,
NATO is badass.
like most Americans I've ever met, like they disagree with this bullshit. Like,
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm an engineering student, and we have some American exchange students here as well. And every time we have had a point, they usually start after a few points, they start ranting about like how sorry they are about this whole fucking shenanigans. Yeah,
Well, I
government are
I
doing.
do apologize, but I didn't vote for the guy. I tried my hardest. So, there are average Americans that support Europe fully, and we just got to get through this fucking curse that is the Donald. But I mean, he's shitting his pants, so we may be getting close to the end of it.
And I hope we will. Like the thing is, in the end, like USA is you're insanely, enormously huge economy, and thing is like the whole Western world's defensive posture is, whether we want it or not, is mostly built in USA. Okay, to my defense, Finland joined NATO just recently, and like we always built our defense by ourselves. Like I think we are just fine without US arms. We can handle ourselves. But to US's defense in this point, there's so many European countries that haven't been done that at all. Like there are many European countries with barely any armies, and I don't like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
we should be taking care of our defense. Of course, I agree. Like that's the one point with USA I completely agree with.
Well, to be quite honest, I mean, I agree that like from a worldwide perspective, it's probably good to have armies to defend yourself and stuff, but from like an America first perspective, it makes no sense to be essentially saying, "Oh yeah, Europe, build up your own army." So we have like, not that we would ever pressure Europe in that sort of way, but like I feel like after and during the Cold War, I feel like we let Europe, like it was, I don't know. We took care of the military stuff. You guys took care of the sciences, and I don't know why that has to change, but who knows? Maybe that's a very naive view on the world, but
yeah, but I mean, to be fair, like I think in the best scenario, both will do the science and both will do the military thing as well. Because I mean, Finland joined the NATO and the whole Western bullshit quite recently. I mean,
what'd you say?
during the
Sorry,
Cold War,
I missed you. My bad.
I mean, Finland joined the NATO like just 2 years ago, or something like that.
Oh yeah, Big Dick Biden got you guys to sign on, and we very much appreciate. I'll let you know, I am super proud of NATO. So
I mean, during the Cold War bullshit, like we were basically between NATO and Soviet Union, like, and it was like between two animals.
Oh yeah, I feel like
kind of situation. And even after the Cold War, when every like European country started to sell their tanks, and we were the country buying their tanks. Like, you want to sell your tanks? Okay, we'll buy them. You want to sell your artillery? We will buy them. You want to sell your fighters? Oh, fucking yeah! Please bring it on, bring it on. And right now, if the war started, like I didn't go even through the military. And even now, like I know my what my role will be if the war start, because I was a voluntary firefighter.
How would you say the fear of Russia is in Finland right now? Or not Finland. Finland, my bad.
I mean, we respect the threat, but we are not afraid.
Okay. There's not like a general kind of atmosphere of like these guys are, it's not as, I don't know how I would describe it. But I mean, you acknowledge. I've seen a lot.
We acknowledge that we acknowledge the threat that it exists, but we already fought 2 wars with them and 1 like border conflict bullshit before that.
Oh yeah.
But like 2 official wars, and like, yeah, we kind of lost them both. We lost territories, but we like really made them pay for it.
Yeah, you
I mean,
kicked
because
ass in the Winter War, didn't you?
yeah, and the continuation war as well.
Exactly, dude.
And
You
but
guys
thing
didn't
is, like,
lose. What are you talking about? No one could survive those colds except for the Finns.
but thing is, Finland is like, it's a long country. Like, our country border is 1,300 kilometers.
Oh yeah,
It's like
that's
700 miles
what's
or something like that. It's
that's
long,
kind
and
of
it's
why I'm wondering, like,
mostly
how's
frozen.
the feeling? Yeah,
I mean, it's mostly frozen swamp. And
interesting.
they're only, I mean, it's more just a few roads going through the border, and most of the terrain, like, there's no truck or tank can go through the terrain that most of the border is.
Interesting.
That's why
that's why I was always wondering, like, why is this not more heavily defended? But that makes sense. If it's tundra and swampland, it's not really an easily and mountainous,
I mean,
chains.
it's tundra and it's frozen forest, it's fucking swamp and it's lakes, and I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of lakes, and most of them are in the eastern Finland. Like,
Are they
it's a
relatively
fucking nightmare.
populated? Is the area relatively populated, or is it pretty sparse?
I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of lakes, and there are only like 5.6 million of people living here in the whole country.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I mean,
Oh wow.
literally like 1 hour drive from my home, there's St. Petersburg, and there's living more people than in all of Finland. So yeah, this is small
That's
country.
interesting. It's a small
But
country.
still-
It takes a
Yeah,
lot to.
but still, there's like something around 1 million trained reservists here. So yeah,
That's
every male that can be like for health reasons can be accepted will go through military service.
So is that kind? I know. Does Denmark kind of have a similar system, or?
They do.
Yeah,
To my
I
best
thought they
knowledge,
did.
they do.
I thought they did.
But I think
That's-
it's more limited. They are not like, they are much more picky. They will only pick the best, and they only have like limited facilities, so they don't have like enough staff to train everybody. But in Finland, it's been basically like most of the professional military are there just to train all the conscripts.
Interesting.
Because if the shit will hit the fan, like, there will be like hundreds and hundreds of thousands of conscripts that are already trained, and they will just pick their weapons and go.
Yeah, that's something we don't have in the United States. This idea of conscription. It's much more, it's a voluntary thing, and so I do think I don't know if a conscription would work here, but maybe a conscription into the National Guard could be interesting, especially to help people figure out their careers and stuff like that. I don't know.
I mean,
I'm not super against it.
I mean, I don't think it would work there. I mean, here, like, the willingness to do it is like really, really high. Like, it's like part of our national.
It's national fervor.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, of course we will do it. Like, it's like part
Yeah.
of growing up. Like, since you're a fucking child, like, the second you turn 18, like, you will go to the army. Like, of course you will do it. Like, everybody knows that. And everybody will go through it unless they have like some health issues that they can't, or they choose to go to the civilian service. That is something like not military related, but something like nationally helpful.
Yeah, like kind of like a police service, or am I
No police, but like something like
firefighting, stuff like that?
not really that as well. To be fair, like I was like I got a stroke when I was a kid, so I didn't
Oh,
go
geez,
to
I'm so
either.
sorry to hear about that. Hope you're
But
doing well, man.
like I did few years of firefighter
Okay,
just as a
interesting.
volunteer, and like
Oh,
I
hell yeah,
fucking
that's
love that.
sick. Yeah, hell yeah. We
But like
in the small town I live in, we run on volunteer firefighters. No one here gets paid, so
I mean actually here like thing is, I mean the whole fucking capital city of Helsinki is only 500,000 people, so I mean the whole Finland is a fucking small town. So like
yeah,
so
for
like
real.
95% of whole Finnish area is done purely by volunteer firefighters. So like we had the most of the gigs. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I know how that. Trust me,
but
I
I mean,
get that.
but
Small
to be fair, like
towns.
but to be fair, I don't really know what the civilian service people really do, because I have
No, you're
really
good.
never had that
It's
conversation. To be
interesting.
fair,
No, yeah, it's
I mean, I
interesting.
like the concept. Like, I mean, you have the choice. Like, okay, you don't want to go to army, you have like some kind of civil service, like, you have that choice. That was the
Yeah.
word. And even in the army, like if you don't want to do any like armed service, you can be like work in the logistics or in the
Yeah,
food
okay, I
service
get
or
what you're
something like
saying.
that.
So
So
stuff to
you
boost.
don't necessarily want, if you don't want to carry any arms, like that as possibility as well.
Interesting. I think the idea of conscription in America has always I don't know about the national military, but I feel like a national guard or the federal military, but I feel like a national guard type deal could be interesting. I don't know. We don't in America there's not, as of right now, this patriotism really. You don't MAGA fakes
Or
it,
at
but
least
there's not
healthy
really.
patriotism. But maybe something like if I could make a suggestion as a like foreigner, maybe something like maybe not a conscription in the like national guard, but maybe like there's much of like homeless people and like
Oh
unfortunate
yeah.
people. Which sounds like much of issues, but maybe like okay, if you volunteer in some kind of national service, maybe like National Guard or maybe like some kind of
Like the
National Guard
Peace Corps,
for
kind of.
like a National Guard, but for like rescue services, like go put out
Well, we
wildfire,
actually,
so something like that. Like okay, if you volunteer, like we first of we will pay you and we will like help make sure that you get some kind of help, and we will help you get your life together. You just need to
yeah, we
volunteer and
actually
join
kind
us.
of, we have something similar called the Peace Corps.
But
However,
that
yeah,
like
it
in
doesn't.
like a federal level, like okay, like you have like a federal budget for that. Like okay, you fucked up your life. You're like down on your luck, like or something else fucked up your life. Like you're homeless and like you're down on your luck. Like, but you have this choice. Okay, you go there, you volunteer, you do something useful, you gain your skills, and I mean even in the fucking military, you volunteer there. Like you don't have any sort of like proper even high school education. You got there fucking grunt in the army.
Yeah,
In the best
and
case,
we treat our
they pay your fucking healthcare. They pay you for your even some cases they will even pay for your fucking education.
yeah.
Why
There's
don't you
just
do that for like civilian service as well, for like firefighting
yeah.
or like
No, I like that
national
idea.
park service?
Yeah, kind of like a civil support corps is what I would
Yeah.
kind of liken it to. I wish we had that. Unfortunately, in this administration, that would be considered very woke. But I was
That's an
gonna,
idea.
I did want to wrap this up here in a minute and continue on with
Sure.
the show, if that's okay. I hope I'm not being
Yeah,
rude.
sure.
I very much
Yeah, it's
enjoyed.
okay.
I very much enjoyed talking to you. You're a cool dude.
Maybe we can chat sometime again?
Yeah, of course, man. I really no, yeah, of course.
Let's do
I
that.
just see a lot of MAGA cope in chat, and I wanna, gotta address them before
I
they
understand, bro. I
scurry
understand.
away. You try to give them a call-in number, because they say they don't have Discord, and then nothing happens. Nothing happens. But it was really good talking to you, man.
Yeah, I hope we'll do this someday again. And hey, have a great night.
Oh yeah. Oh, by the way, I have me, Mina, and Rootsy have a podcast every Monday. And if you ever want to call in during and talk about any of the subjects we talk about, feel free to. I'd appreciate it.
I would love that.
All right. Well, hey, you take care, brother.
Yeah, you too. Have a night.
Yep. Have a good day.
Yeah.
That was our dear homie in Christ. I don't think I know how to say his name properly, but hold on, let me go to the mod log so I can make sure I pronounce it properly. Oh, never mind. We're gonna, oh, okay, there it is. Sorry, guys. I know. Kaliezer? I like that name. Kaliezer. Dad is disappointed? Why is Dad disappointed? What did I do? Dad shouldn't be disappointed. Dad is proud. You were licking a... See, this is what I'm talking about. Jason, why is there so much emphasis on sex? It's embarrassing. And all I'm going to say is, usually the guys that describe it best aren't exactly putting in the best effort, That's all I'm going to say. Anyways, I thought that was interesting how conscription services work in Finland. And I think I like the idea of like a civil support corps where people volunteer for their community and gain valuable knowledge and skills. I think that is lacking in America right now. Europeans, your opinions on my amazing country mean jack shit. What are you talking about? They've been good friends of America for the longest time. I value NATO very much, and NATO is one of it is the strongest alliance to ever exist. So I value them just as much as I would value a state.
Democrats put forward a list of demands last week. We saw a senior White House official on Thursday.
Chad Jeffries, I forgot we were watching him. We may not be able to get to everything, but we'll definitely slog through the right-wing grift a little
They say
bit.
that Democrats had rejected what they called their latest counter proposal. So for folks who are already out there working without pay right now, what can you tell them about how much closer you are to a deal today compared to last week?
Very unfortunate that Republicans have decided that they would prefer to shut down FEMA, shut down the Coast Guard, and shut down TSA, as opposed to actually getting ICE under control, reining them in because the American people know they have gone too far, and ensure that ICE and CBP behave like every other law enforcement agency in the country.
Bite me, old man Spotted, go eat a burger. Hey, what's up, It Spots? It's good to see you. By the way, the link in the description is for a donation drive that my good friend Mina and content creator Ukrainian Anna set up to help the people of Ukraine during these brutal winters that they're facing. People have frozen to death because of the destruction they have to their infrastructure.
That's the objective that we are trying to achieve. Now, there are several things, common sense, strong proposals that we've put on the table that to date Republicans have rejected, including
Think the program would be good in the U.S.?
judicial-
Yeah, I agree. Some sort of civil support corps would. I feel like it would help people grow closer to their communities, especially in this time of social media.
warrants be obtained before ICE agents can storm the homes of the American people or private property.
PS2. Like a grown man. Hell yeah. Hey, we love the Europeans out here. We really do. And I think it's valuable. You know, they've been through a lot. You know what I mean? I feel like their insight is valuable. Whether it be historically, culturally, I think they have a lot to add, man. I understand being against the the right-wing European grifters, though.
We also believe that ICE agents, of course, should be trained, should have a excessive use of force policy.
Yeah, I thought, JT, you were a home dog. But that's why I was like, oh. But here's what I'm assuming. You may have thought I was debating a European about MAGA. And unfortunately, MAGA is so cowardly these days. They just don't want to join the call. That's okay, though. We wait. We wait and see, folks. We wait and see. 2 more weeks. I hate the word communities. Communities build walls, and once it's up, you don't choose which side of it you're on. Yeah, well, what do you mean? Like, communities in a sense of, like, insealing your, like, are you talking about in terms of, like, a media ecosystem and a social media ecosystem?
That they adhere to.
Oh, those are some fighting words, it's bots. Those are some fighting words you're saying right there. Those are some fiery words coming from, I used to have some memes that I would do for the UK, but I have forgotten them because I am so peace loving and I love everybody.
And that they shouldn't be able to target sensitive locations like schools and hospitals, houses of worship, and polling sites.
It's bots, I'll be honest, we were just tired of the beans on toast every day. You gotta spice it up a little bit. Okay, one day beans on toast, fine. Beans on toast 7 days in a row? And then black goo. Beans on toast and black goo, my favorite.
And we finally believe, of course, in terms of some of the top line demands that we've made, is that there should be independent investigations whenever it is the case that ICE agents or CBP agents break state and local law.
Leader Jeffries, we've reported extensively on, I know, that the Democrats' demands in this case, but are you any closer to a deal? Have you talked to the White House in the last 3 days?
I haven't had direct conversation with the White House. My understanding, Donald Trump was down in Florida on the golf course yesterday, which is...
Isn't that embarrassing?
Exactly
During
what
a
we
partial
saw
government.
from-
He did this with the last shutdown, though. Thank you for playing PBS, Bretta. Oh, yeah, I love PBS. They're the best.
From the president during the 43-day Trump Republican shutdown, a lack of seriousness as it relates to direct engagement between House Democrats and Senate Democrats. And as I've indicated,
Black goo? What's that supposed to be? Hold on. Here. I don't know the name of it. Black goo English dish. I'm sure we'll find it. That should not... Well, unfortunately, it did come up with something, but I don't think this is the exact black goo we're looking for. It's in a can. Canned black goo. That's what we'll look up. Now we're thinking with our brains. Yes, I know. Okay, looks like... Damn fun to read the chat afterwards. Well, don't... If they're being mean, don't listen to them too closely. Black pudding? Maybe. It might be black pudding. Oh, God. Blood pudding? Yeah! Yeah, you guys are eating bloody sausages out. You guys are eating blood pudding out here. Not actually. I don't think they actually eat, like, puddings. I imagine that wouldn't be good. Blood sausages. And that is why America rebelled.
Though there are staff...
Damn, it was fun to chat despite me being tired and drunk. Fuck. No, you're fine. I enjoyed chatting with you, dog. Don't worry.
Staff conversations.
Blood
there have not been any
sausage.
principal level discussions to date, either with the White House or with House and Senate Republican leaders.
Can I put to you what your fellow Democrat, Senator John Fetterman of Pennsylvania, has said about where things are?
Well,
he pointed out that the shutdown...
It's very nice. Honestly, you know what? I don't know it. I'd have to give it a shot. You know, I'll give it a shot. I'll give anything a shot once, but I don't know. I remember having the perk that let you eat blood sausages in Fallout New Vegas, and now I just kind of associate it with cannibalism.
Down really is not going to have an impact on...
Oh, they don't have... Psh, you guys don't have the humble burrito. Sure, you may have imitations, but the humble burrito is where it's at, dog.
ICE, which saw a huge influx of funding.
Okay, I won't lie, SBC. What you just said, that sounds fucking delicious. Square sausage, fried egg, bacon, and beans on toast. Now that does sound good, but, you know, I think that most cultures at this point are going to cook up something pretty fire. You know what I'm saying? We're this far along in human history. Everybody's got a good dish somewhere.
From that so-called big, beautiful bill. He said what's really
Orange chicken? Oh, yeah. That shit's
doing,
fire,
as you
dude.
pointed out too, is forcing TSA workers to work without pay. FEMA could also be affected. So if ICE reforms are what you want to see here, how does a shutdown that doesn't really affect the agency get you there?
First of all, we have until the end of the month to make sure that TSA agents don't miss a single paycheck, and that is our commitment as Democrats, and we need, of course, Republicans to join us with respect to
We
TSA.
eat black pudding in America? I eat sausage. Is it just sausage? If it's just sausage, then it's not nearly as bad as I thought it was.
Coast Guard and FEMA, the other agencies that are part of the Department of Homeland Security. John Fetterman, of course, he knows that the one big ugly bill, which every single Democrat and every single in the House and the Senate voted against, was an egregious piece of legislation that both ripped away Medicaid from about 14 million Americans, $1 trillion cut to Medicaid, the largest in American history. It stole food from the mouths of hungry children, seniors, and veterans.
Oh, I don't think I've tried it then before, because I have never... in my storied history, I don't believe I've had anything called blood sausage. But the more we talk about it, you know, the more appealing it sounds. It's mostly oats, hardly any blood. Okay, now we're back to it being not good. Black pudding is made of blood, fat, and oats. Huh. Interesting. I'm gonna have to, I'll give it a shot when I'm in the UK. I'll give anything a shot once. I don't know, could be good. Maybe.
Veterans with $186 billion.
Sounds like something I would make in Kenshi, like they would make in Kenshi to eat. Not gonna lie. No offense. No offense. Normal sausage has blood? Yeah, but like... You're right. You're right. It does have blood. You know what? Maybe I'm being too nitpicky. Black pudding and haggis. Now, haggis is something I would want to try. And that's specifically because in a Scooby-Doo episode where they were investigating the Loch Ness Monster, they all had haggis and they were like, ew, that's gross. And then they ate it and they're like, oh my God, that's delicious. It just sounds really good for some reason. It's like when you see a meal in an anime. Looks too good to be true. That's haggis for me. Part of me doesn't even want to eat it just because it may ruin the dream.
Cut to SNAP, which also happens to be the largest in American history, and then use that money to provide massive tax breaks to the GOP's billionaire donors and to create this $75 billion slush fund for untrained...
I don't know. I'm going to have to give it a shot when I'm in the UK someday. I think cooking streams would be fun at some point. I think that would be a fun venture. Maybe we can make some blood sausage together.
And mass ICE agents to be violently unleashed in American communities. So yes, we do have to address the dynamics related to the one big ugly bill. But at this moment, in the context of the appropriations battle that is in front of us, we have an opportunity to make bold, transformational, and meaningful changes in the law that will actually immediately impact how ICE agents are permitted to conduct themselves.
That's House Democratic Leader Hakeem
Yeah,
Jeffries.
we talked about this on the pod. I am in full favor of shutting this agency down, and DHS is in charge of a lot more than just ICE, and the other agencies are going to suffer, and the Americans will feel that. Things like the Coast Guard, Jeffries. Well, unfortunately, I am not based Chad Hakeem Jeffries. So I'm assuming you're talking to him. Anyways. You are an absolute idiot! Distraction from your fraud and lies. What fraud is Jeffries been implicated in, my friend? What are you talking about? You guys are just mad because Jeffries is as clean as a whistle. And he holds MAGA accountable every day.
Us today. Leader Jeffries, thank you. It's good to speak with you.
MAGA is anti-based, Chad,
For
and
more
that's just a
analysis of the
fact.
partial shutdown and other political news on this President's Day, we turn now to our Politics Monday duo. That is Amy Walter of the Cook Political Report.
All right, we're going to probably skip that. Olympic Games. I don't really care about that. And I don't care about that either. So, we're going to watch this Brian Tyler Cohen video talking about the Epstein scheme. Pam Bondi's Epstein scheme with Ro Khanna. I like Ro Khanna. I think he's good in the House. I don't know if he quite has it right now for the Senate, but he may. But I love what he's doing in the with the Epstein Transparency Act.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Whoa! Loud, Mr. Khanna. Loud.
So I want to talk about the latest stunt that Pam Bondi's DOJ pulled, and that was that in their explanation of the redactions, instead of
bots. That's who does it. It's bots. Simple moron. He was trying to extort 1.5 trillion American taxpayers' pockets. Oh my God. So he's calling the government shutdown for Medicaid fraud. He's saying, dude, why don't you have any faith in the systems that are supposed to catch fraud? Don't you think they would have found that? Don't you think Trump would have been all over that? Why would they do that? And people in illegal immigrants can't take advantage of Medicaid. So what are you talking about?
breaking up these
bots, dude. Straight up bots. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is definitely some Russian dude sweating in his parents' not even his parents, sweating in like a concrete, soul-crushing apartment, typing away. Simple moron. Like, poor guy. You know what? You can tell your overseer that you beat me, man. You can tell him that. It's fine. Tell him you beat me, you owned me, and I cried and never wanted to make a video again.
Redactions into a list of who the co-conspirators were, and then everybody else who just had their name in some passing mention in the Epstein files. The DOJ decided to just glom everything.
I hope your defamation case is spectacular, because they have found it. Ignore that for you, clickbait. Bro, it's straight up a bot. Oh my God, we detected a bot, ladies and gentlemen. We're screenshotting that and slapping it on screen. That's a good meme. Thank you, friend. You beat me. You beat me. You can stay in the chat, Doug. I want you to stay in here as a shining example of what a Russian bot looks like. Wow, that's crazy. We found one. We actually found one, ladies and gentlemen. That's insane. Anyways, go off, BTC.
On in one big list, vomit it out and say, there, we've done our job, we've complied with the law, our work here is done. Can I have your reaction to that move by Pam Bondi? And do you think that it was a deliberate attempt where they had the opportunity to offer up some clarity, instead decided to muddy the waters?
Nope.
Well, of course, it's a deliberate attempt at muddying the waters and preventing the American public from knowing which politicians actually were involved with Epstein's crimes. I mean, they have Thomas Massie and me on the list. Obviously, our email is probably in some email, given that we've been driving this. They have Ronald Reagan on the list. They have Janis Joplin, who was
this is so embarrassing, dude.
Epstein was 17 years old on the list. I mean, so it is absurd. And people are seeing it as absurd. They're seeing that this is a Justice Department that wants to protect the predators, that has no regard for the survivors, and that has created mass confusion.
In terms of getting some clarity, is there anything that you can do from from Congress's side to maybe fix their list so that it's not so purposefully opaque?
Well, the thing we need to do is perhaps pass a second law. I mean, Nancy Mace actually suggested that we could give further direction to the Epstein Transparency Act. But the main thing that we need to do is start to have accountability. I mean, we could take legal action to say they have not complied. That's why Massey and I initially asked for a special master. We could have congressional hearings haul in to Congress, the people who are actually in these files, where we need to have accountability. So there are a lot of steps we can.
Did you guys see how Bondi just sorry, I was putting an image on the screen to remind my viewers what a bot looks like. But did you guys see that Pam Bondi sent a little memo to Congress with over 300 names, and they're just random fucking people they picked out of a fucking hat. It's embarrassing. And half the half the reason I think these people keep saying
credibility, not just with Democrats, but with Republicans, and it is really
that people keep saying Biden's in the files. I swear.
Them within the Congress.
Is there a reason that you can't take an all of the above approach where you...
Whoa, dude. We are at a very valuable moment right now, guys. We are at 369 subscribers. Very valuable moment right here. Thank you guys so much, by the way. You guys are absolutely killing it today. I really appreciate it. If you guys are feeling generous, please feel free to donate to the current fundraiser my fellow content creator Mina and Ukrainian Anna are doing. They are providing kits of coats, jackets, blankets to help the Ukrainian people fight off this horrible winter that has been ravaging people in Ukraine. I heard recently from Mina. Mina was telling us that on the pod that people have been freezing to death in Ukraine. So if you guys are feeling generous, feel free to. If you guys don't have the financial means, then obviously, you know, make sure to watch out for yourself. But our Ukrainian brothers and sisters are facing tyranny, and they're doing a damn good job fighting it. But unfortunately, there's collateral when it comes, and Russia makes it even worse when they target energy facilities. I heard Russia struck Ukraine again. Oh yeah, they've increased their... Russia isn't gonna stop, you know? That's just a fact, dude. Russia is not going to stop until either Ukraine's theirs or there's an actual effort from the West to stop them. They're testing us every day. They're saying, let's see how far we can get this time. Let's see how far we can get this time. We should have done like Turkey and fucking shot their shit out of the sky the moment they breached Ukraine's airspace, but oh well.
Do sue along with Thomas Massie and potentially even the victims to compel a special
switch so that way I can ignore MAGA. And hey, that's fine. I hope it's a good audio experience as well. Yeah, that's just the thing. Trump regime ain't gonna help. Not at all. And it's so fucking stupid, dude, because we could, you know, you really aren't going to... Russia speaks through might. They don't speak through words. Pissed off pedo stream cope. I don't like Donald Trump. This isn't a pedo stream. Sorry about that, friend. Hold on, weren't you the guy screaming at Kristi Noem for talking about the winter storm in the north, but now saying we need to help Ukraine because, well, she was doing that to distract from the shootings. That's why I was critical of her. And yes, Ukraine is in an active fucking war right now. And people are dying of freezing. And because their homes don't have power.
Special master to step in. Can you also, push the Republicans in charge of these congressional committees like James Comer to open congressional investigations? And can you pass a second law? I'm sure if the first one passed with unanimous support, except for Clay Higgins, there's going to be plenty of support even if Trump vetoes it to override a presidential veto.
Well, a second law is certainly a possibility. Like I said, Nancy Mace has already floated that, and we could do it in defiance of a presidential veto like we did the first time.
Yeah.
We should have congressional hearings. I mean, we will when Garcia is chair of oversight, but we should have it now. I mean, the speaker should appoint Massey and me to head up a select committee to have all these people hold in front of Congress who have had some mention in the Epstein files where there's incriminating information. Or we can do it through the oversight.
Yeah, that's one son of a bitch I cannot wait to see out of power. Mike Johnson, what a crook, dude. There's going to be weird stuff that comes out about him.
Committee. And then there's legal action. I mean, the Judge Engelmeyer invited Massey or I to bring a lawsuit. He invited the survivors to bring lawsuits. There is legal action that we can take as well.
In terms of the immediate
Okay,
next
number one, that's crazy that you remember that far. But number two, you're not engaging with the fact that of the issue I had with that conference. The issue I had with the conference is she was trying to distract from the ICE shootings. And yes, at that time, one of our American citizens had just been shot.
steps here, because a lot is happening as it relates to the Epstein
Oh,
files.
I love this. Trillions to Ukraine. That's why inflation reached record high. What is it? Is it the illegal immigration? Is it the millions of billions, quadrillions to Ukraine? Is it Medicaid? Is it SNAP? Which one is it? Why did inflation reach that high under Biden? It couldn't possibly be because the gas station of the world invaded their neighbor. It couldn't be that. No, it had to be everything else. So embarrassing.
What should we expect in the coming days, in terms of new news?
The first thing is the amount of people who are being exposed. I mean, you literally have France announcing special prosecutions, a special prosecution unit because of the amount of people being connected. You have the British monarchy in trouble with the former Prince Andrew. You have Peter Mandelson and the British government in trouble. You have people in the United States, Goldman Sachs.
No, she was distracting. What are you talking about? She tried to set up an entire little area just for this storm, and she got pissed that they started asking about Preddy. Yeah, she didn't. No, she didn't. Hold on. Are we misremembering this? Let's go back. Let's go back and watch it. Maybe you're right. Maybe she gave a completely fair, and she mentioned the Preddy shooting. Maybe you're right. Let's find out. Christy, it was really quick, so I'm sure we'll be able to find it. Alex Preddy. Let's see. Here we go. She was scheduled to talk about the storm. Well, then you realize that there are more pressing issues. You realize that, right? If I was slated to have all this shit out, I would have canceled that because the nation was hurting. I wouldn't be out here with a bunch of, oh, here's my little school bag. Here's my, guys, remember, here's a helmet. Oh, look, I'm so cool. I got a little fire helmet. Are you fucking bullshitting me? But let's see how unprompted that was. Let's see how unprompted it was.
Tonight, the first one being a storm that is barreling down on our country and will be impacting approximately 250 million Americans in 40 different states. We've been working together here at the FEMA headquarters and have
I see why I was saying no, because nobody gives a fuck. Alex Preddy had just been shot, and this woman wants to talk about the winter storm. And you know why, JTHM? The winter storm in Ukraine is a little bit worse, or I'd say a lot of bit worse than the winter storm in America. Because they are at a fucking war. Jesus. I would say a major winter storm that affected 75% of the country is important. And I can't believe, and I don't believe my local weatherman fucking at all, I guess. Do you not have a weatherman? Jesus. Yeah, the head of DHS shouldn't be talking about the American citizen that was just killed in front of everybody's eyes and in the streets. No, she should be talking about a winter storm that your fucking weatherman could talk about.
Coordination Center and are working with local and state authorities to make sure that we're getting individuals and communities pre-deployed resources that they may need, and also preparing them for the upcoming days, which will significantly impact them and their citizens. The Trump administration and FEMA are working closely with them.
Yapping about this winter storm.
To get them resources and to help them be prepared and well equipped for the road ahead as we go through this next week. But before I take any questions and give more details on the storm and its impact.
She thought she was going to be, this is like, oh, by the way. I do
want to address the tragic situation that we saw in Minneapolis today that unfolded on the streets. It occurred with DHS law enforcement as they carried out their lawful duties to keep Americans safe in the threat of criminal illegal aliens in this country.
Dude, look, she had to fucking think about that.
9:05
What illegal aliens?
Central Time, the Department of Homeland Security law enforcement officials and officers were conducting targeted
She's been talking for 44 seconds. I'm sorry, but she should be talking about this immediately and not setting up a bunch of little fucking props. Embarrassing, bro. Embarrassing. But yeah, that, and I think I gave a good reason as to why the winter storm is so much more important in Ukraine than it is here. She addresses pretty, unprompted. You're right. She talked about nothingness for 60 seconds and then condescendingly said, oh, we know about that situation, acting as if she wasn't going to get a bunch of questions about that. I don't think this is the win you think it is, my friend. But I'm not, if you have an issue with the donation, just say so. If you have an issue with me doing a donation for the people in Ukraine to get care packages, just say so.
Texas lawyer, allegations against Ambassador Tom Barak, who's our ambassador to Turkey, allegations against some of the most prominent people in technology. And it just gets deeper and deeper. And so one of the things that has sort of become self-fulfilling is, even though there's been a partial release, this is exposing and taking down.
Yeah, the Ukraine war would have never started under Trump because he would have just given them Ukraine. He would have just given them Ukraine. He would have helped Putin. Maybe then it would have been a 3-day military operation. 3-day special military operation. Unfortunately, Putin is an incredibly incompetent individual in his own right. So, he failed. As he continues to fail to gain land in Ukraine because his army is weak, rusted, a shell of its former Soviet glory that it could never aspire to be to. Did Biden even try to stop the war? Well, no, because he knows that Putin isn't going to fucking act in good faith. And you're seeing that play out as Trump piddle paddles his way through foreign politics. No issue with a charity, just find it funny. Why do you find it funny? It's not funny. I don't find it funny at all. I think you should take it a little more seriously.
A lot of people who have been part of the Epstein class. And I think that it's just developing more and more anger in the American public to have a full disclosure. And
Listen, I feel Biden had the beautiful dream, like most Europeans and most of the world did, that Russia would hopefully finally put down their imperialistic ambitions and join with the rest of Europe in a true union, and where they could finally stop warring with each other. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. And so any sanctions Biden removed were immediately slapped back on when the Ukraine war started. And sanctions also don't necessarily work like that, my friend.
And the main thing, Brian, is to have accountability. They want to see the United States do what France is doing, what UK is doing, what other countries is doing, to prosecute those who are responsible, to investigate those who are responsible.
What do you say to people who look at what's happening in other countries and then look at the abject corruption that has consumed our government and have decided, because Trump is in charge, because Pam Bondi is in charge, that we won't ever see accountability, and so that's just like how it goes in this country? What do you say to those people?
Well, it's a deeply cynical view, which is understandable, because we have not had elite accountability in America. We have not had it for the bankers who caused the Great Depression. We have not had it for the people who took away homes during the Great Recession. We have not had it for those who did torture in Iraq or took us into the war in Iraq. Time and again, the elite have escaped accountability, and Pam Bondi is showing no appetite to prosecute the elites. But civilized society, Brian, depends upon the view that there are decent people, that there can be...
You know what sucks too? Trump doesn't even have good memes anymore. He's not funny. He's just a frumpy, dumpy loser who's a pedophile. That sucks, bro. Oh my God. Which Keystone Pipeline? Which Keystone Pipeline did he pull the permits for? That's what started it. Oh my God, that's so funny.
Some agreement to have...
That was a little weird, I won't lie. He wants to punish bankers from 100 years ago. I mean, they were doing some fuck shit. We can admit that, but I mean, if that would be... I like the energy, Kana. Don't get me wrong. I just think it would be kind of hard.
Law and to have morality, that it cannot just be power does what power wants. And if we don't believe in that decency and the ability to have law and morality, then you don't have a civilized society.
You're not good at this, are you? But you know how good I am because you come into my chat almost every day. So you are impressed. Bud, you are one of my biggest supporters. You realize that, right? I feel like you're just a bot that is meant to train me against MAGA talking points. And I appreciate that. I really do.
Is that there are those decent people there. There are those people who are just sick of...
Here, you know what you are? Here, I'll bring it up for you. Have you guys ever played The Force Awakens? Or The Force Unleashed? My bad. Okay. Funny, dude, you have 6 people watching? Well, they all love my content and want to see more. I don't know about you, man, but I think that's pretty impressive to have 6 people watching. My brother in Christ, 6 people? That's a squad. 6 people can storm the gate. 6 people can disable a battleship. 6 people. Oh, only 6 people watching? Psh. Guess how many people it took to start World War I? The war to end all wars took one man. You doubt our strength. But we're strong. And we will beat you, bud. Anyways, let's continue.
What has happened to our government, and that we are going to have a fundamental realignment of decency and morality in 2026. The Democrats are going to have a sweeping victory, and part of that mandate is going to be elite accountability. Part of that mandate is going to be investigations against those people who committed these crimes.
Well, you know, the Trump administration is trying its level best to have this whole situation devolve.
No, bud. I'm literally the coolest person to ever exist. That's why I don't exist. The gods zapped me out of existence, unfortunately. Unfortunately. Why do you think I don't have a face cam? I'm a non-corporeal entity.
Just a D versus R food fight. Like, that's why they're putting, you know, all of these Democrats on this new DOJ list, because they want it to seem like the Democrats are just as implicated as some of these Republicans. Trump himself has come out and said that this is not a Republican problem, this is a Democrat problem. The oversight committee
Bud,
chairman,
you
James
think
Comer,
I'm the coolest streamer on the platform, and you know how I know? You definitely have my alerts turned on. So, like, you're either in two worlds. Either A, you are a robot that is sent here to train me against MAGA talking points, or B, you're just some sad dude that craves interaction with somebody. It's either one of those two, my friend.
has said that we need Bill Clinton to be deposed. And so we're taking this seriously as it relates to this former president, but you know, God forbid we call in our current president, who's named even more in the files than Bill Clinton. But all of that notwithstanding, they're clearly trying to make this into just a D versus R fight. And so do you think that the forces of good who want to see accountability for people who've committed these depraved crimes, do you think that's going to
I'll see you next time, bud. I'll see you next time. I know you'll be waiting.
The Republican versus Democrat, you know, the usual.
But if any of you guys disagree, it's like it must be impossible for these people to join a Discord and debate or call a number. God forbid. I don't get it, but who knows? Who knows?
Their gut reaction isn't just to protect somebody if they're on their team. Do you think that people are going to be able to see past that and, regardless of political party, want some accountability?
I do. I mean, look, no one is seeing this as a Republican versus Democratic thing. The average person is, and that's why you have folks like Thomas Massie talking about an Epstein class and an Epstein administration. What they see is powerful Democrats and powerful Republicans caught up in this. They see people in finance, in technology, in real estate, in Hollywood caught up. Are there big Democratic names caught up in this? Absolutely. And they should be prosecuted and they should be investigated. Are they big Republican names? Absolutely. Let's start with Howard Lutnick, who's lied to the American people, still in the cabinet, and took his family to Epstein's Island. Let's look at people like the Secretary of Navy or the Fed nominee to chair the Fed and their implications of the Epstein files. People want accountability. And let's look at this Ambassador Barack, who's now being said to have connections to Epstein, alleged connections. The point is that this.
By the way, if you guys are enjoying the stream, please remember to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel and gets me boosted out there in the algorithm. I very much appreciate your guys' support. And yeah, let's continue.
A group of people of power and wealth who thought they were above the law. And frankly, it permeated both parties. But what is wrong is you now have one party, a president, who has people tied to this Epstein class with no accountability. And we need to start with the accountability there, have the Democrats be accountable as well, and then commit to a new beginning.
How has the process been for you and Thomas Massie in particular? Because you've become the faces of this movement, but this is a movement that so scared the survivors that a lot of them didn't speak out for years and years and years because they feared the blowback. You guys are barreling ahead regardless of that. So has there been blowback for you, or at least anything that you're willing to speak about publicly?
Sure. I mean, look, there's been concern. Obviously, there's been concern in terms of just basic safety, but more broadly, there's been concern about being targeted by billionaires. There's been targeted in terms of reputation, attacks from all sorts of folks. There's a reason the survivors didn't
Do you
speak
guys
up,
believe
but
that he's been targeted, that he has threats made against him by billionaires? I don't know if I necessarily... I mean, it could. I think that's more just talk. I mean, maybe. It's definitely not impossible.
People haven't spoken up for decades. You're taking on some of the most powerful forces in society. You're taking on people who funded the political class. And then there's a sense where Massey and I both have other issues. I mean, you know, my passion is economic patriotism. How are we going to tackle the economic divides in this country? And there's a danger of just being talking about Epstein. But for me, this has become such a moral cause, because I believe until you have accountability for the Epstein class, you can't have the economic patriotism. Until you have an accountability for people who don't defy the law, people won't trust government to do Medicare for all and childcare at $10 a day and taxes on billionaires and free public college.
He is speaking on a very important point. Like, Donald Trump is doing so much damage to the image of the federal government in the people's eyes. You know, when people see their fellow citizens getting shot in the street and hear rumors that they've been killing even more people that you just don't even know about, that doesn't bode well for trust. I don't know, guys. I could be wrong, though. Who knows? Who knows? According to MAGA in my chat, that's actually showing peace through strength. I have no idea what they even say. That's not at all what they say, but good meme.
And a living wage and a Marshall Plan for America. So to me, the Epstein class is tied to a forward vision of new economic patriotism. And I'm willing to take the risks, as is Massey, with what comes with it. And if that means that our public service careers are shorter than either of us expected, so be it.
You know, just days ago, Thomas Massey posted on Twitter.
Ass, dude.
Basically, what boils down to this idea that he's...
What a fucking Chad. I won't lie. Rokon is pretty cool. I like him. Not too big of a fan on the Israel stuff, but besides that, I'm a pretty big fan.
He's not suicidal.
I don't think he has what it takes to be president or anything. So don't get that twisted. But maybe far future Speaker of the House, or maybe Senator or something like that. I don't know.
Like all he knows how to swim. He's happy. Like it was basically an I am not committing suicide note. What was your reaction to that?
Well, look, after being as deep into this, I have questions about how Epstein was killed or not killed. I mean, I don't believe the standard account is the final word on it.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a Congress member saying that. It's different when it's like a MAGA crazy who is uncredited. This is a well-respected House member saying this. That's damning. That means that, like I said, I don't think old Jeffrey took his own life. And I do think Trump has something to do with it. Who else could it be? Who else could it really be? Trump is in the White House. Trump has all the access to Jeffrey Epstein. Every incentive to murk the man. He literally could have destroyed Trump, if some of the accounts are to be believed. Every incentive Who's it? It's going to be the Clintons? Are you fucking joking? The Clintons are old news by 2019. Dude, I feel like we're not saying what we're not, like, we're ignoring the elephant in the room. Who else other than Trump could it be? Which accounts should be believed? Those files where they're talking about the witness statement where Trump was seen fingering a little, or I don't want to talk about that. That's just disgusting. But you get the point. Yeah, there's numerous accounts that place Trump, and I think Trump's Mar-a-Lago plays a much bigger resort than a lot of people are really, what's the word? I think it played a much bigger role than we're being led to believe. But that's just my opinion.
And my belief is that I think that Thomas Massie feels unsafe. I mean, he's been in a tough race and he's had higher scrutiny. Now, I replied to that saying that personally, I'm not as concerned about my physical safety, but the way they get you in Washington is they unleash these billionaires. They try to spend money against you. They try to recruit candidates against you. They try to destroy your reputation. They look for any mistake and amplify that and go to your moral integrity. They did this to Marjorie Taylor Greene. They're trying to do this to Massie and me. But on the flip side, you have an American people, many who are decent and kind and caring and believe that law and morality should check power, that there is something in the Constitution and in our faith traditions that matter more than the accumulation of wealth and power. And they have our back. And I've never had more support, Brian, than in 10 years that I've been in Congress. More people who see me in an airport and say, keep up the fight. Thank you for what you're doing. So that sustains me. It sustains me as
hell yeah.
does the messages of survivors who see justice.
And by the way, all of that is well deserved because, you know, without the work, and I say this to you every week, but without the work that you and Thomas Massie have done, we wouldn't be where we're at today. And to that end, last question here. What has it been like in your conversations with folks who've voted for Trump or who didn't vote at all in previous elections? I'm just curious from a political vantage, what this administration's eagerness to engage in a cover-up is doing in terms of upcoming elections.
Brian, talk to your family members or extended family members who may be Trump supporters. I think you will find, I'm presuming you have some Trump supporters in some family, but I presume you will find this may be the one issue that
I could care less if it's mostly Middle Easterners. I could care less if it's good for business. You're essentially going, but the Dow is over 500. That's what you're doing right now, man. Business-wise, I could care less. Could care less. And we know that's not true because Howard Lutnick is in there. Bringing his family to the island. So it's not just Israeli, Saudi people. It's a lot deeper, bubs, unfortunately. I agree, it's really gross.
Justifies Trump for them.
Yeah.
They may agree with Trump on everything else or give him a pass on everything else, but the amount of MAGA Republicans who said, I can't believe what Pam Bondi is doing to cover this up. I can't believe that we're not going after pedophiles. I can't believe that we are not having elites accountable who were on Epstein's rape island and knew what was going on or who raped these girls. It's staggering. It's the one issue that has broken MAGA. It's the one issue that has gotten MAGA to wake up to see Trump's fundamental falseness in standing up to the swamp and standing up to elite accountability. And it gives us the opportunity, if we take it, to build a new coalition. But that new coalition must reject the Epstein class, whether it was Democratic or Republican. That new coalition must acknowledge that both parties made mistakes, Republicans more so, but both parties made mistakes with an unbridled faith in the market that cost people their jobs, that hollowed out communities, that have led to the greatest income inequality in 60 years, that have led to workers having the least share of income from GDP in 75 years, and that we need elite accountability, and we need a economic transformation that puts working class families at the forefront again. And I believe if we do that, and there are voices across our party who do want to do that, new generation voices who want to do that, I believe if we do that, then we can restore faith in this country. We can not just win, but we can, as Churchill put it, deserve victory with actually having
I don't think it's
programmatic
going to be
agenda.
nearly as disastrous as that. Number one, a lot of the people implicated in the Epstein files right now are stepping down, you know? And there are plenty of businessmen and rich and powerful in there that are within America's purview to arrest and should be arrested. So
that goes after elite impunity and goes after.
yeah, and that Sultan stepped down from his position of power in the company he held. Now, given, of course, he may not get that. We may not get complete justice. However, with these men out of positions of power and out of roles that they can make decision, it's a net benefit.
The two Americas we see to start to heal some of our nation's divides.
Perfectly put. We'll leave it there. Congressman, as always, thank you for the work you're doing. Thanks for the time.
I like Ro Khanna. He's sick. He's a cool dude. Anyways, the reason this has been going on for so long, I really wanted to get to the Hillary Clinton Epstein files where she says it's a cover-up. Now, a lot of people have been critical of the Clintons, but the Clintons are the ones saying release it all. So, I mean, that's way different from Donald Trump trying to say, oh, well, you know, we can move on, guys. We can move on. No one needs to talk the Epstein files. What are you talking about?
Presidential candidate Hillary Clinton says she believes Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and anyone with any information about the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein should testify before Congress. In a BBC interview, Mrs. Clinton also said she and her husband, Bill Clinton, want their forthcoming testimony about Epstein to be public. The couple had previously refused to
Okay, now I won't lie. I think it would be totally badass if Bill Clinton went in there. And he may. This is why I think they're so afraid of a public hearing. He just lays it all out. He says it all, unprompted. This is where I was. And I won't lie, I was doing some horrible things, but let me tell you, the person you really need to be looking at. And he fucking explains it all. I don't know, I could see him doing it. I don't think that's beyond the pale.
testify to the Epstein inquiry.
I didn't grow up with Clinton, so I don't know his personality.
Proceedings. Former President Bill Clinton appears several times in the Epstein files that were released by the U.S. Justice Department last month. Mr. Clinton knew Epstein, but has denied having any knowledge he was a sex offender and says he cut off contact with him 2 decades ago. Bill Clinton will appear in Congress for a deposition on the 27th of February, and Hillary Clinton is set to appear the day before. Our Europe correspondent Jessica Parker sat down with Mrs. Clinton.
Hillary Clinton, thank you for talking to BBC News. I want to start off talking about the case of Jeffrey Epstein. Mm-hmm. You say you never met Jeffrey Epstein. Clearly your husband did know him. The former president says he knew him before his crimes came to light. But there are also associations with Ghislaine Maxwell, including in 2013 when she was a guest at a Clinton Global Initiative event, years after allegations had emerged against her. What I want to know is, do you regret the links that there have been between Epstein, Maxwell, and the Clinton family?
Well, let me start by saying that a law was passed in Congress to require that all the files that have anything to do with them be released. And what we're seeing, I think it's fair to say, is a continuing cover-up by the Trump administration.
Speak your truth, Queen. Speak your truth. Oh, what could have been. What could have been. No. Oh, jeez. If only, guys. If only. What could have been. So sad. So sad. One moment. I'm going to let this go. I have a call
testified
incoming.
last week. It was quite a scene because she refused to answer questions. She diverted attention away from the matters at hand. She refused to look at the survivors. So there's something about this administration's attitude toward this, which I think really leads us to conclude they have something to hide. We don't. We have been willing to say whatever we know. We've even done it under oath. But they want us to testify, not everyone else who's mentioned many, many times, hundreds of thousands of times in these files. So we've said, fine, let us do it in public. And we will appear in public and we'll answer all your questions.
And we'll get to that in just a moment. But just to be clear, do you regret the links that there have been?
You know, we have no links. We have a very clear record that we've been willing to talk about, which my husband has said. He took some rides on the airplane for his charitable work. I don't recall ever meeting him.
Did you ever meet Ghislaine Maxwell?
I did on a few occasions, and thousands of people go to the Clinton Global Initiative. So it to me is not something that is
Boom,
really
MAGA. Annihilated. Oh, what could have been. For real, though, what, this is...
the heart of what this matter is about. They are accused, and in both cases, were convicted of horrific crimes against girls and women. That should be the focus. And we are more than happy to say what we know, which is very limited and totally unrelated to their behavior or their crimes. And we want to do it in public because let's make this transparent. The survivors deserve that, the public deserves that, but you know, the Republican member of Congress who is running this hearing or this investigation is trying to protect the president. So let's get to what's really at stake here.
Just on this hearing, obviously, I'm sure Donald Trump and his administration would reject your characterization of what's going on, and he's denied any wrongdoing.
How can they reject it? They can't answer questions, and the Attorney General was clearly unwilling to answer questions. She works for him. So let's be very clear here. According to what we now know, Mr. Trump, President Trump, is mentioned, some say, 1 million times in the files. People in his cabinet are mentioned.
That figure's correct?
That's what it says, you know, on the internet over and over again. Well, let's find out what the truth is. That's why we want it to be transparent and in public.
Hey, she's playing Donald's game against him. Interesting. Honestly, very interesting. One moment.
On that, your upcoming appearance before the Oversight Committee, where are we with that? You want to appear in public versus closed-door deposition. Is it going ahead, and how? What is the format going to be?
We will show up, but we think it would be better to have it in public because what we want is for everybody to get to the facts about this. We have nothing to hide. We have called for the full release of these files repeatedly. We think sunlight is the best disinfectant. Get the files out. They are slow walking it. They are redacting the names of men who are in it. They are
Hey, what's up, Chase?
stonewalling
Good to see you,
legitimate
man.
requests from members of Congress. That has nothing to do with us. Something is going on. They know it. I know it. If they're going to have me testify, I would prefer to do it in public because I want everybody to see it at the same time. If I have to do it behind closed doors, they're not going to like what I have to say because I have very strong opinions about what it is they're hiding and who they are protecting.
Just dropping by. Well, good to see you, man.
There are calls for another individual who denies wrongdoing to go before Congress on this matter. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, formerly Prince Andrew. Do you think he should testify?
I think everybody should testify. Look,
including the former prince.
I think everybody should testify who is asked to testify. I just want
Prince Andrew is such a fucking loser, dude. From the way he tried to lie. Oh, do you guys remember that? Do you guys remember how this sweaty man... Cool, nothing to hide, just tell the truth right now. Well, obviously, the people... excuse me, the representatives want them to testify in a closed door session. They want it to be public. That's what this is about. They've already said they've already said what they know.
it to be fair. I want everybody treated the same way. That's not true for my husband and me because other witnesses were asked to testify. They gave written statements under oath. We offered that. They want to pull us. Why did they want to pull us into this? To divert attention from President Trump. This is not complicated. This is so obvious, and they keep trying
I know.
to divert.
Why does it
Look at
feel
this shiny
like
object.
that,
We're going to have the
dude?
Clintons, even Hillary Clinton, who never met the guy. We're going to have her there. Let's focus on what's really happening here. You have an attorney general and a Justice Department attempting to hide information that should be made public.
Okay, but did you know that the... All right, here's the thing. Do you understand that the Dow is over 50K? Did you potentially think about that? It's not about a public platform. It's about having Congress do it. It's important because then it's on the record. That would be why.
I just want to ask you, though, because as many people have said, being in the Epstein files does not mean that you've done anything wrong. But speaking for yourself and for your family, what was your reaction when you saw some of the material that has been released? I'm thinking, for example, of images of your husband apparently in a hot tub in a swimming pool on Epstein's plane. What was your reaction to that? And do you know the context surrounding some of those images?
Absolutely. And it wasn't a hot tub on a plane. It was one of the stops they made to look at philanthropic and charitable work that my husband has done, saving literally millions of lives around the world. It turned out that was done long before there was any public awareness and certainly any conviction of any crime by Jeffrey Epstein. So it was a short
I
period.
don't remember the way Andrew lied. I recall I was I do remember the way in a Pizza Express in working when the interview happened, and the photograph of me watching the interview was clearly fake because I don't sweat. Very true. Very true. It's clearly a fake image. I don't sweat. I actually had a condition that makes me not sweat.
A lot of people were traveling at the same time.
Fucking got you. Oh, they think they're gonna be able to get past my wit. Do they got another thing coming? It's not exactly British, but good enough. I think you know why they're not just doing a giant public hearing, and it's because they don't know nearly as much as you guys think they know. What? Hold on. What? You know, I've seen Bill Clinton's name passed around a lot, but you know what I'm not finding? Where the fuck is his wrongdoing? Like, we have evidence for Trump. Where the fuck is the evidence for Bill? A couple pictures of him in a hot tub? I didn't know that was incriminating. Where is this massive slosh of evidence against Bill that's comparable to Trump? I'm sorry, I don't see it, dude. Trump seems to be an integral part of this. And y'all are just coping by denying it, IMO.
Staff members, guests, other supporters of the foundation. If Bill and I had a penny for every person
in a hot tub with women whose face they redacted, who could be victims, could just be someone random, or could be predators for all we know. We don't know because they are so sloppy with their redactions. Bro, you did not work with the FBI to call out pedos. Stop with this cope. You know what that call reads like? That call reads like a fucking crook who they just bagged their fucking crook's best friend, and now they're going to... You have no idea if that's a minor. You have no idea if that's a minor, JTHM. Zero idea. You know why? Because they just redacted people who didn't need to be redacted. So you have no idea. You are just making that assumption. Besmirching the good name of Bill Clinton. You know what? Fuck it. I'll die on the hill. What evidence do you guys have that Bill Clinton is implicated here, besides that hot tub picture? I'll give you 5 minutes to go scour the internet real quick. Because goodness knows you don't actually have any evidence.
we've taken pictures with, we would be extremely rich today.
Let's move on to what we're seeing. You've just come from the Munich Security Conference, and a lot of people are talking about the idea of a new world order. I'm interested in your thoughts. In terms of transatlantic relations between Europe and the United States, do you think they have permanently shifted, that there is no going back to the way things were before?
Well, I think time will tell whether we are going to support the rule of law, support the strong alliances that were forged through and after World War II, create an area of peace and security in the transatlantic or not. And as I said in Munich, I think that comes down to whether or not the people in America turn out. Donald Trump and
Bro, you don't stop making the assumption that's a minor. You don't know if that's a minor. Hold on. Let's look at this picture. Is it easy to tell? And again, you have no idea. Number one, what can you tell about this? Nothing. And you have no idea. Donald Trump's DOJ is so sloppy and so vindictive, this could have been a perpetrator right next to him. Dude, this is not conclusive at all. What are you fucking talking about? With a minor. Oh, you can tell this is a minor? You can tell? I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. I'm not, I find it so infuriating that you guys will have this much heat for a picture of Bill Clinton. I can tell Bill Clinton seems really relaxed being on. Okay, so here's the thing. So, like, I can do that same thing with this, right? Like, Trump and Epstein look like they're really good friends right here, and they engage. He's actually looking at a 5-year-old in this photo, believe it or not. I can do the same thing. Whoa! They look to be best friends, but, you know, it's just embarrassing. You're embarrassing yourself, dude. Because you'll look at this and you'll say, oh, nothing wrong here. I could redact. Okay, what if I redacted Melania's face right here? Exact same picture, dude. Exact same picture. And I'm going further than you. I think Bill Clinton should be investigated if there's any more ties than a fucking picture of him in a hot tub. So selective with your beliefs. So selective with what you guys choose to believe. It's Oh, whoa! 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 Bombshell. Bombshell. Busted. Absolute. Vindicated? What are you talking about? This is not one victim. He's at a hula party with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 victims. Holy shit. Jeez, whatever Bill was doing, Trump was on top of that. Obama was not mentioned 3 million times in the files. That's just disinformation, Gob. Congratulations on trying to perpetuate it. That's not even true. Obama is barely mentioned in the files, as a matter of fact. And that pisses you guys off. But I bet you're going to bring up... Oh, sorry. That's my work alarm. But now you guys are going to shift the goalpost, and I'll steelman it a little bit for you. Dude, you're relying on here. No fucking way. No fucking way, JTHM. You are fucking insane. You are fucking insane. If you believe Bill Clinton is less innocent than Donald Trump. You are fucking insane, bro. Or is more innocent, less innocent. You're just coping, bro, and I'm sorry it's so hard to cope. Anyways, let's continue.
Who are more concerned about Putin than they are about democracy, and whether Europe stands against
Donald Trump is sick in the head if he's looking at a 5-year-old. I was joking, Kayla. Don't worry. But I was just using it as an example, you know. And Trump, damn, JTHM, are you serious? How can you be excusing this? I'm going to do your fake outrage real quick. How can you be excusing this? This is Trump with 7 girls in a hula party? In a goddamn hula party? Are you serious? Yeah, see how fucking dumb you sound, bro? I can't believe it. In a hula party? Oh, that's so funny, dude. Yeah, I know you can find the version with no blacked out faces. You know why? Because the DOJ fucked up. They're idiots. That's why. They're full of incompetent dumbasses who are sycophantic for Trump right now. That's why. Bro, you gotta be kidding me. This is fake. This is fake. This is fake. Okay, I was about to say, this is obviously fake. What the fuck? Jeffrey don't got hair like that. But yeah, it seems to be like a lot of times. Oh, there's Billy Clinton. Oh my God, look. Holy shit. Well, if I'll be damned, ladies and gentlemen. That was the Democrats that covered the faces. They were never blackout by DOJ. Yes, they were. If you don't remember, ladies and gentlemen, the DOJ originally put... Here, I'll show the video. I'll show the photo again. You guys have bad memory. Or you just believe lies and misinformation. So, where is the picture? This picture. So, essentially what happened was they put this image up. People saw that Trump was in it. They took it down, unredacted the faces, put it back up, and then took it back down and re-redacted their face. They're bumbling idiots at the DOJ right now. And that's because of you guys, not us.
Undermine the top.
Maybe on my way home from work, I'll call in and we can talk about this. LOL. Well, for sure, JTHM, if you want to. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be live, though, because I am getting kind of tired. But maybe. If I'm still live, for sure.
Eyes amongst European nations in favor of the rule of law, in favor of peace and security, and against Putin. So I'm hoping that the answers are the right answers. I'm hoping that people in Europe and people in the United States will stand up for universal values that have actually protected our peace and security now for more than 80 years.
When you look at the United States, would you still say it is a country that can be seen as the leader of the free world?
Well, it appears that Donald Trump wants to be the leader, but not necessarily of a free world. He is very enamored of Vladimir Putin, who is a dictator.
No.
He's also criticized.
Yes. No. What are you talking about? That's old news, bro. What are you trying to say? Yeah, no shit. If Trump's in them, they're obviously going to release them. That's why you guys are finding it so hard. But that wasn't part of the release. You're lying. You don't know what you're talking about. Sorry.
Donald Trump has never criticized Putin. You can go
His
back.
handling of
No,
Ukraine.
you can go back and look, because many of us have done it, looking for one.
No, you're talking about the email. See, this is why it's so, Donald Trump is such an idiot for taking the Epstein files as his, as a thing to release. No, you are getting very confused. So what you're talking about are the redactions made by the Democratic House Oversight Committee concerning Virginia Giuffre's redactions. That has no relation to that photo, my friend. You are lying. And you're trying to use people's unfamiliarity of the case to lie. Very, very sick thing to do, my friend. But hey, I let you be you, man.
You know, he said, come on, he needs to solve this. He needs to. And what do we now hear? That he and Putin want to profit off the death and misery of the Ukrainian people. So is that a leader? Well, I suppose if you...
I don't need Google. I'm spitting facts at you. And you, unfortunately, are not familiar enough with the case. it's either you don't know enough or you're lying. So I'd rather choose the latter option.
Count it in terms of military power. We
At
are
least
still the
in
leader,
this.
but are we the
In this case, it's either one of the two.
leader in values? Are we the leader in bringing people together? Are we the leader in trying to create hope and opportunity? I think that's an open question.
But Donald Trump's pressure has led, for example, to Europe spending more on defence, including here in Germany, which is something Americans have wanted for a long time. So would you actually count that as a success?
Well, there was a lot of pressure on the Europeans from previous presidents, and including in Trump's first term. And I think the real credit for that goes to Vladimir
But man,
Putin.
you really will talk about anything. Okay, so are you saying the redactions from the DOJ have been totally clear and they aren't hiding powerful people? For one. Number two, are you saying that the DOJ has not messed up the redactions? You're typing away, man. And number three, you are really doing anything to talk about the fact that Trump is in these files way more than any of the people you try to mention here. And you're just sad and upset that your dude is a pedophile.
I think Vladimir Putin's
Oh my God, bro, you need to stop. No way. Bro, he's copy and pasting from ChatGPT. I'm not that hard to fight, bro. I'm not. Anyways, I'm gonna end the stream after this. Wow.
aggressive behavior, starting with Georgia, Crimea, and then the full-scale invasion of Ukraine, has woken up the Europeans unlike anything anybody else could ever tell them. Obviously, Trump has, pushed that. But it's the Europeans who
Bro
finally
literally
have
copy and
realized
pasted
that
from
Vladimir Putin
ChatGPT.
is
That's
attempting
so
to
embarrassing.
undermine European security. And left to his own devices, I believe, along with many other security experts.
Bro, yes you are. Oh my God, you literally fucked up. You realize you left some of the dotted points that dude, you are so using ChatGPT.
Will
It's
threaten the independence of the
embarrassing.
Baltic states, Poland, and elsewhere. So this is not just rhetorical push from the American president. This is the cold reality that here in the 21st century, we are dealing with a dictator who wants to dominate and control not just Ukraine, but Europe.
My final question is on artificial intelligence. You believe that this should be regulated more firmly. How can that be done when you're looking at a kind of patchwork potentially of regulation across the globe?
I think if we don't regulate it, we will wake up as we are now with social media and regret it deeply. I think social media has had a very negative effect on our children. We have evidence of that. Evidence, sadly, that comes mostly from the tech companies because they follow very closely how to keep our kids addicted to social media. I applaud Macron in France. I applaud Sanchez in Spain, Australia, and others who have woken up to the danger social media poses. It also undermines democracy because
Oh my God, you just admitted to it, bro.
undermines trust, it undermines unity, it undermines common effort, and I think it will be on steroids with artificial intelligence.
How can artificial intelligence, if that's what you think should happen, how can that be done on a global scale?
Because look at what...
I mean, do you need like a UN-type body to do that?
Well, it has to start.
Unfortunately, I'm about to end my stream, but catch me tomorrow, Robin, and I'll give you a fiery response.
With individual nations, as they are now with social media. But remember, the European Union is the only serious regulator of technology in the world right now.
And you disagree with some people's view that...
And I think we're going to end, excuse me, I think we're going to end on that. We need regulation. And I think it is ever more apparent as robots like Robin here enter in my chat and Spurg out. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed the stream, please remember to like and subscribe. I will be live tomorrow at 10 a.m. as always. Until then, peace out, gamers. Hold on. Let me put up the real facts. You want to speak facts? Let's speak facts. What about that? Later, SBC. It was good seeing you, dog. Thank you for being a stalwart TGD EU member. I really appreciate it. Anyways, I gotta get my Front Mission 4 music playing. Good stream, by the way. I really, really enjoyed it. I'm not from Canada, dude. Stop giving me Canadian ads. Alright, anyways, peace out, gamers.